So anyway, I am a financial genius because back when I was 9, I knew I knew that if I hid away all my Pokemon's cards, one day or another they'd be valuable. And you know what? I made $50.
Gotta love, you gotta love man children destroying their wallets and stealing card games for children stock and artificially driving up the price to the point where it's like, what the, like, to give you an idea, I'm Adam, and the Diopsid explained to us the infinite bullshit that is Pokemon stock prices for anything pre 2003.
Yep. We're riding this one till the bubble bursts, which I don't know, any day now. It's fucking Pokemon.
I don't know, man. Pokemon addicts have a certain je ne sais quoi about them.
Anyway, we are back with another portion of this read through of Thirsty Sword Lesbians. And the reason we're doing this is because of a little oopsie doopsie social media thing that the developers of this game posted.
Oh, you're doing it because of that? I'm doing it because we were doing too many good books and we need to perfectly
Yeah,
balance things,
yeah.
as all asshole true neutral characters should.
This is nuking the Shire because I don't know, things are getting too boring.
Oh, they're not getting boring. It's just it was getting talked about and I didn't know why. So let's show everyone exactly why right now. There's no such
There's
thing.
thing. Go ahead.
Oh, there's no such thing as an apolitical game. This page from Thirsty Sword Lesbian sums up our stance quite nicely. Remember, if you don't like our politics, don't buy our games. We're literally don't want or need your money. The get woke, go broke mantra is pure bullshit. Oh god, tell that to so many products.
So a quick diatribe here. I just want every fucking marketing person should know that if your ad campaign is to call your customer stupid, that's a shitty campaign. Don't like our like don't like our product, you're erase that. Uh you you should okay. Don't like your if you don't the motto, if you don't like our products, you're a racist. You should always mentally filter it to if you don't like our products, you're a fucking retard. Because that's is the sentiment that they want to get across.
It's good to show contempt for your potential customers. Just ask Volition, which actually, this is the best part. This happened, I think, after Volition released the Saints Row remake trailer, which was the worst thing ever in terms of how not to announce a new product, and also how to lie to your customer base so badly that you had to backtrack like 2 weeks after posturing because, well, the negative backlash of that was amazing. And it seems like Evil Hat Productions didn't quite learn from that. But then again, these people never really do. And by these people, I mean marketing hacks that really shouldn't have a job, in my opinion.
I mean, I think they should have a job, right?
Not
Digging
writing
ditches.
marketing, yeah. anything but marketing.
Coal mining. Actually,
It'd
no,
be
they'd get
like
people killed.
maybe not. It's just what I'm trying to say is that getting a person who openly believes that you can call your customers stupid and they should still expect money is like having a bar run by an alcoholic. It's not going to go well. Not at all. Ah, God, that truly is a very good opener, I think, to well, the book itself. And I already saw something on here that I don't like, and we'll get into it right about now. Neon City 2099, and at the bottom is probably one of my least favorite things that's getting pushed nowadays, which is the shitty emoji helmets that you've seen since it was Watch Dogs 2 that introduced this stupid thing.
Yep,
You know,
it's that.
the game that died so badly that it basically destroyed the franchise.
No, that was Legion. But
I could have swore Watch
wait,
Dogs 2 did like shit too.
yeah, it probably did.
But yeah, ever since then, these shitty emoji helmets occasionally ooze their way in, and the concept would be less obnoxious if it was used better, but I don't think you can.
No, it's corporate slop advertising. You know they're going to slap every branded emoji they can on there for brand synergy. You got to put the shit emoji on your helmet
Oh,
because clap it, clap for it, you fucking plebeians.
So Neon City 2099, which was only written because Cyberpunk 2077 came out during the time that this was being developed. That is literally the only reason this is in here.
Yep.
So, overview. In a world that never sees the sun because they can't call it Night City, that's trademarked by... who owns it now? Because I know, I think it was Telstorian Games that used to own it. Or am I crazy?
Let me Google that for you, actually. Hi, I'm Tech Priest. I'm just popping in.
welcome to not quite hell, but welcome to the Leveler. Welcome to...
Yeah, Red Dead crashed into me, so I'm like, ah, shit.
Ah, shit. I don't have an
shit.
excuse.
now I've got to go and join you guys.
Damn it, we gotta look at a bad version of Cyberpunk.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
So, in a world that never sees the sun, neon lights cut through hearts and souls of revolutionaries.
Let's see. The role-playing system game, I think, is the original one was Artelsaurian.
Yep.
I think it's still owned by them. I could be wrong.
I could have swore Telsorian went out of business at one point, and that's
Let's
why I'm a
see.
little confused.
Who bought them out?
Whoever they are, they ain't getting royalties from this.
Nope, they're still
for more than one
technically around.
reason.
Oh, they never went out of business?
No, they have not. They actually published a Witcher role-playing game, I think.
Major props then to Telsorian. I thought you guys died at one point, and your name was just taken by some, other vulture.
I think that they are in cooperation with CD Projekt Red now, but I'm pretty sure that they're still alive and still around.
That actually makes me happy. It's not often you see a company last this long in the tabletop gaming business.
They also did. They also did Big Eyes Small. Wait, no, they did not do Big Eyes Small Mouth. They did Teenagers from Outer Space, which is what inspired Big Eyes Small Mouth.
Well, they also, if I remember it, Telsorian also did a Dragon Ball tabletop game too.
Also did
Probably.
I think they did. I know there's a. I could be crazy.
They never did that. They did Mechton. What the hell is
Mechaton? Oh, that's the classic mech playing. It's if you want to play Gundam, Mechaton Zeta was one of the options that I'd recommend.
Ah, okay.
It's
also
it does what BattleTech Time for War kind of does, but a little less technical. And you can't transplant it over to play your minis game.
Okay.
Yep. Anyway, let's segue
back to
from
shit.
Yep,
okay,
back
Neon
to the
City.
shit game.
Oh wait, no, they did do a Dragon Ball Z game.
No,
I told you.
Okay, back to the shit. Back to the shit. We are going back to the shit pile.
Too many good
There's
things.
no escape.
What page are we on? I need to suffer.
124.
Yep, 124, Neon City 2099. The overview. In a world that never sees the sun, neon lights cut through hearts and souls of revolutionaries. In pouring rain, light cycles race through narrow alleys, chasing down fragile hope.
Can't wait.
Why are we ripping off Tron?
Save me from
Why are we ripping off Tron when you have all of Cyberpunk to play with? I swear.
I don't know either. Can we honor fallen comrades and tear down the megacorp? Oh god, no. Oh, no. It took Arasaka blowing up like half the city with fucking nukes to get them out of there. That was a great joke. Will we free the city from greed and corruption? When
No.
When avatars are activated and systems of power are hacked, neon swords come to life.
I'm sorry. All I can think of when I hear the term avatars are activated is that fucking stupid activated almonds bullshit.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of. I'm sorry. So my almonds have been activated.
So some principles of Neon City is reveal the cruelty and warmth of the city. Neon City, because we can't legally use Night City, is dangerous and people are driven to desperation. Illegal street races blend the virtual and the real. Obsolete.
So what? They're wearing a virtual boy while driving?
Well, I mean, if this was.
If this was cool, this would be like Cyberpunk, and everything has like an AR filter that it can be turned on and off at will using glasses.
Yeah,
but
it's not.
This isn't Shadowrun, so it won't be cool.
But I'm not. But it's not Cyberpunk. So I'm gonna assume that they just have like Oculus Rifts on or something, and they're just crashing into random buildings.
I was envisioning more like those sad like Dave and Buster's rides where you're just on a fucking bike and they're just wearing an Oculus Rift as they are just on the shaky bike. Like it's not even as cool as you're thinking.
So it's like those like coin operated machines that you see outside of like Walmart's.
Yeah, it's like
it's
like the elephant, but they have AR shades on and they're just motorcycles.
No. Their cars are hover rounds. But they're virtual realitying them into cars.
So see, that could theoretically be cool, but it's not.
No.
Like as like a concept of like an old person like underground racing circuit in like a cyberpunk dystopia where it's like that would be so cool.
That actually sounds great.
That I would 100% play that game where you're a bunch of old people using virtual reality to do street races.
The Silver Fox circuit. You have to be 70 and older to join. So where was I? But bustling night markets are full of friendly vendors, and hollow tattoo parlors give you a new face when you're outrunning the authorities. In Neon City, it's easy to get in over your head, but it's just as easy to find a flirty new friend, because when I think of Cyberpunk, I think of the romance dating sim, not the I murdered Japanese Yakuza with a fucking nano sword.
I mean, Cyberpunk and sex has always kind of gone hand in hand to some degree.
Yeah,
but no.
Not how they're doing it.
Not like this. Not like this at all.
So, Bleed Neon and Cool, which is actually just them stealing the style over substance, because Heart of Hearts, if you read the original batch, I think mine's 2nd edition, that's kind of Cyberpunk in a nutshell, is style over substance.
Yeah.
So
Cyberpunk is all about that.
Yep. When the acid rain bleeds neon onto the streets, because I guess they don't know what acid rain does. Do we find shelter in each other's arms?
I actually have a question about that. Is that implying that the acid rain is like stealing color from stuff, or is it neon colored?
No, because that would be cool and creative and artsy. It's not.
Maybe this is just like a really retarded metaphor for like light, neon light shining off puddles and wet surfaces, but it's really poorly handled.
Yeah.
It's so.
Do we really need to criticize?
Sentence is packed.
Do we really need to criticize this book's writing anymore? Like it's already bad.
All right.
So when changing your body is only as hard as getting the creds, how do you express your heart and transcend humanity? By replacing all of it except your brain and going on a murderous rampage through an orphanage. Just ask Adam Smasher.
Play fucking Eclipse Phase and realize that humanity is only what we make it. And by what we make it, I mean we now have an octopus mafia.
Yeah,
So
why do that
not?
when you can literally return to Monkey and play and prim uplifted apes who desperately want to destroy what humanity gave them?
That also could be fun too. Yes. Return to Monkey, but I still think that it'd be also great to have like an orca tank. Like no, it's like a tank that has like an orca in it, and that's the primary
And it's
weapon of
running the
war.
Chinese triad.
Yes. Yes. Oh my god. No, it's specifically out to kill the Japanese because its grand plan is to annihilate Japan with nuclear weapons because of its family was slaughtered by an illegal Japanese whaling vessel. Can you just imagine?
I can, but unfortunately not in this. Never
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah.
When your avatar comes to life, how does the augmented world reveal your hidden desires? Oh god, this is like borrowing from Ready Player One. Oh no.
Why the fuck would you do that?
The same reason why they rip off Tron, because they can only understand stuff designed for children, I think.
Well,
So are
what
they
the fuck
gonna?
is this art in the second bit? That's not even. Just.
Yeah, it's the worst thing ever. The emoji helmet's the worst thing I think that was ever introduced in
On
Cyberpunk
the next
ever.
page, it gets even worse.
So, build a revolution on its people. You were radicalized by the cruelty of the Megacore, but you can't fight with righteous anger alone. A revolution is only as strong as its people, and winning the war will mean winning hearts. That's money still will
I mean,
destroy you.
I mean, you can still win a revolution by just righteous anger. That's kind of how a lot of revolutions win,
But you don't
basically.
understand, we have to always be the good guys and not murder everyone.
No. You see, the murder happens after the revolution. That's how you do these things.
But you don't understand, we're always going to be the good guys, because it's not like randomly murdering like the owner of a fucking Steak and Shake. It's not like murdering that guy is a bad thing, right? I had a point there, but the writing is destroying my brain cells.
Yeah.
So, help a struggling neighborhood sabotage the demolition drones that tear down their homes. Infiltrate a corpse sector and free an executive who fell in love with you. Start up a Hackett Haven and build a mech that will pummel the Megacore.
Hacker is a general neutral term. For fuck's sake.
Do you think they know that? And better yet, do you think they give a shit? These are the people that try to put X in Latinx. So, setting. Neon City is a megalopolis with buildings that stretch hundreds of stories up, ignoring architectural limitations. The Megacore openly controls politics, authority, and all forms of power. Each executive owns a sector and has been gifted technology, professionals, and assets to bleed their territory dry. Well, I guess they don't understand how a business runs. That makes sense. That actually makes sense if you think about that.
Yeah.
Once a neighborhood is brought to its knees, the Megacore builds over it, restructures itself, and salvages what's left. It's brutal, dehumanizing, and merciless.
I mean, you could use this to make a good comment about like that we need to figure out a way to adequately house people in the growing hives that cities are becoming and all this. But no, they don't.
And it's not like they understand what they just babbled about.
And maybe like talking about somehow instituting maybe a rent boosting program, sort of like council houses in England or whatever, maybe in the United States in some areas. But no.
Well, yeah, this is Cyberpunk.
This is
Did was they
Cyberpunk,
saw.
and this is terrible social commentary.
Well, not only that, but I think the only thing they understand is like the plan that OCP had in the original RoboCop, where it just showed the model of like what Detroit would look like when they bought it.
Oh yeah,
I think that's like the most they were able to understand of this concept.
No, I'm thinking more of like the kids movie where the evil land developer wants to bulldoze
So
camp,
this is just they're just Scooby-Doo villains.
the kid camp. Yeah, they're
They're
fucking
literally it's literally a Scooby-Doo villain plot. It's like we're gonna take the land and we're gonna use it to build a mall. Like every Scooby-Doo plot is basically real estate fraud.
When in reality, some better ways to kind of establish how awful they are is Honestly, just steal Ultor's shtick from Saints Row 2. They had a big concept where they would drive down prices of land by having gang wars basically happen through the part of the city they wanted to own. And then
I mean,
after the
you could do
prices
that.
were brought down, they buy it out and then send their private security to basically shoot them all.
That could work. You could also, use actual predatory realtor companies that exist right now in the United States that do similar things.
Yeah.
Or you can just basically lean on the politicians to essentially drive up rent prices or building codes.
Yeah,
And then when
that's
they
what they do.
inevitably fail, just buy them out.
That's basically what they do. It's disgusting. Especially because when they up the rent prices, you'd think that, whoa, you should be getting more like actual repairs to this building. No, they're just sucking you dry so they can build a new building, which they can then fleece investors for, get a massive tax write-off on, and then go vacation to the Bahamas with an underage hooker.
But they don't understand that. Instead, they
don't.
understand Megacorp sees people as commodities. Lives are traded by perceived value. Advertisement campaigns program the populace, and propaganda maintains compliance and obscures the truth. It really is
They're
amazing.
so close to getting it. They're so close.
The Megacorp,
but they just can't get through it. God damn it.
The Megacorp is a machine that seeks to outlive us all, but we're here to break that machine forever. This is the worst Demon the Descent game I've ever fucking played.
No, like, oh my fucking, they're like, okay. What really pisses me off is that this misses the point of stuff like this, the neo-anarchists in like say Shadowrun, right? Where basically their point is that the corporation has become the state, therefore rebel against the corporation, or like or even like the vaguest hint of like left-wing thought that isn't slay queen, like holy fuck.
Oh, you
Do
mean
you
like the
understand
Nomad
what
movement that I came up with in my version of Cyberpunk, which basically came from a bit of softset, but it's mostly just left and right libs that also kind of channeled survivalism.
we want our guns and our gay weed farms.
Basically, yeah, combined with survivalism and some conspiratory nonsense, and that's where the Nomads mostly came from.
So
the cyberpunk,
you have the road chemicals in the water are giving people cyber psychosis.
You do have road warrior looking motherfuckers, but on average, they're more like dudes in RVs who just have machine guns and horses.
I mean, yeah. Who doesn't want a cyber horse? I would want a cyber horse.
Yeah, cyber horses would be cool.
On the edges of the city, diverse communities live on what they can scavenge and build together. These communities are thousands of people strong, each with their own factions, cultures, and laws. Actually, this is them also failing to understand that the reason suburbs are also stupidly expensive is we don't want to live in the fucking piece of shit city.
More like we don't want to live anywhere that's not built-in infrastructure, but built-in infrastructure is hard and expensive, but it brings value to the city. So people don't invest in it, which leads to rundown urban centers, which lead to more violence and crime and further property and less investment.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with that, so I just want to live in like this place that was built to be nice. That's
the magical refugee. It's the magical refugee camp.
Yeah, I don't even understand the concept of why suburbs exist. That's amazing.
No, why suburbs exist is there's a lot of reasons beyond just like, oh, city disgusting.
I mean, yeah, it was also to expand on cities when it would be too expensive to just kind of rehaul.
Yeah,
I know that, but like a big element of suburbs, it kind of changed
was
in the 60s.
Black people are suddenly actually getting rights and going to our schools. We need to move somewhere else. Was part of it. That is an integral part of like the move towards suburban America that people don't like to talk about in some areas. But yeah, like let's ignore all of that and do like talk about the perfect date with our cute cyber detective.
Good point. If we're gonna, the communities are thousands. I already read that. PCs can define a community or agree to come from different ones and build an underground together. Life on the Fringes is about survival. Light cycle gangs stare down the megacore to protect their territory and each other. This is them struggling to understand Acura, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's what they're ripping off here. People are wary and resilient, each bearing the trauma inflicted by the megacore, but people are also loving and full of hope, compassionate when their trust is earned. Salvaging and repurposing technology is the heart of a revolution. Because I guess learning how to code is too hard. That wasn't even me trying to be a zinger. It's just kind of amusing that they're literal fucking scavengers.
Once the barrier for entry reaches a certain point, though, this is actually something that people in tech have discussed to a degree, where it's like, how many people are we locking out long term from what we're building because it's starting to become incredibly complex that nobody really fully grasps it.
You say that, but I was kind of making light of how the most common reaction to people.
Yeah, well, that's not gonna hack it in 20 years. In 20 years, it's gonna be like, you want to work in tech, you need a master's at minimum.
You're failing to understand that that was a mocking of the people who tell the coal miners learn to code.
I know, but this is the honest truth of it: is that HR is a fucking nightmare mess.
Oh, you think you mean IT?
I'm not just talking IT. I'm talking like in the tech field in general. It's getting crazy.
I can't wait until all the other parts of the company basically are like, why can't you work on this science magic man?
Because it's programmed in COBOL. I don't understand COBOL. They stopped printing the manuals to it 15 years ago. They don't exist.
Because Ryan, the last head IT developer, left, and everything's in fucking Fortran, and you refuse to give people time and money to learn how to fucking use Fortran, and you don't, you can't bother to upgrade the infrastructure, even though the last time that these servers have been updated was during like fucking Clinton's years.
Yeah.
The most
but
powerful
can't you
man...
just like fix it, science tech man? No! It's all exploded!
And then at first they blame you when something
They'll blame
breaks.
you. They'll just blame you, because you should know how to instantly fix the exploding servers.
I like your words, funny magic man.
It's like the most powerful person in the corporation isn't the president. It's the fucking Wally type guy. Like that the one elderly asshole who's completely burned out and is only going here and only shows up. Like, he could quit, but if he stays here, he gets free coffee.
Yeah.
You're joking, but more than one company has literally died because the only person that knows the technical process decides, fuck this, I'm treated like shit, I'm leaving.
That's happened to several major businesses before, and it usually ends badly and in things getting breached that shouldn't be breached.
Because they're stupid and they don't want to put time to invest in another person, at least a couple people, to replace him.
Yeah, 2 or 3 people is what you want to replace somebody like that, because then you have extra backup. But, you know.
So, anyway,
away from our personal versions of hell.
I see it more as a circus, watching the IT staff just kind of slowly lose their minds trying to assemble.
No, we can't do this, Barbara. No, Barbara, we can't just set everything to be on your phone, because A, your phone can't handle this. B, Barbara, you've lost your phone 3 times this year.
Richard,
Barbara,
we're not getting an iPhone 13. Your iPhone 10 is perfectly fine. No, I don't care that you just threw it out the window to get an i13. The CEO hasn't even gotten one yet, you asshole.
Nope, Barbara. Perl and Java are not basically the same thing.
No, Barbara, we can't just put it on the cloud. That's not a thing.
Richard, stop using company property to look up porn. It's just the viruses are destroying the server and mainframe.
I've had to rebuild your PC 12 times, Rob. Like,
you have a problem.
Barbara, stop putting the space heater right next to the laptop. That's why it keeps breaking.
I have to share one of my IT horror stories. I had a user that we're doing like I'm doing an upgrade on his PC, and we're doing like the rebuild. It's saying like updating and all that. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have to restart it a couple of times. And then he immediately puts his finger over, and I'm watching in slow motion, like, oh God, no, is he actually going to do this? Because I'm like, he force powered off of it during the build. I'm like, I died inside that day. It was, and then I'm like, well, let's turn it back on and see. And of course, it gets stuck in the boot loop because everything's broken. And I'm like, well, this was a 5-minute process. It's now probably a 5-hour process.
I
'Cause I'm
can't
gonna
wait
have to
until the tech parts of the company are just referred to as magic men, because that's gonna happen.
I like your funny
Yeah.
words, Magic Man.
You're joking, but the more I realize the nightmare we're in, the more I think 40K is partially right, at least in terms of the actual fucking tech
And you
priests
wonder.
becoming a thing.
Yeah,
And you wonder why Comstar decided to become space wizards. This is why they decided to become space wizards, because god damn it, they weren't getting enough respect.
Arthur Clarke is just like grinning in his grave.
Arthur Clarke was fucking right about way too goddamn many things.
Yeah. Like, I think we're only about, like, what, 10, 15 years away from IT workers using, like, incense or whatever to quote unquote solve stupid tech problems.
No,
Just to make people go away, yeah.
Or alternatively, they collectively riot and nuke the infrastructure to zero.
We might. At the current rate, we might.
But enough about the living hell that is IT. Let's go back to the written hell that is Thirsty Sword
This
Lesbian.
game.
So, as oppressive and as cruel as the Megacore is, many support and uphold its injustice. They fight for scraps, seek to get ahead, and serve as lackeys. And they're content to perpetuate cycles of use and abuse and are more dangerous and sinister than those who hold power. But they all hope for something better. Can you get past their fear to reveal the truth of their heart? By the way, I very much love Claude Strife's booster sword here.
This is worse art than the first one. The
Uh,
other one on the other side, I'm like, okay, that's just stupid, but
it's
it's
awful, but
Are those Jello donuts?
that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
With the other one, I can be like, okay, so
It's like it's
it's just
even
really
there.
stylized or whatever, with like spokes or something. But this one doesn't show that at all. It's
I just realized how stupid this is. I think those are supposed to be hard light wheels.
they are supposed to be hard light.
Fuck.
It's not even.
I think like I wasn't noticing the wheels. I was too busy looking at the rip-off Buster Sword, which is like the worst thing you can ever see in terms of. It really reminds me of steampunk, where the rule of thumb is you just put fucking gears on it and there you go.
Put some flashy strobe lights on it.
Put some brass on it. And you're good.
You're cyberpunk.
God. Anyway, idle talk. These are some campaign ideas. The player characters have infiltrated the entertainment complex of the Megacore, again showing they don't understand. Oh god.
They don't understand how Megacorp actually would work.
They don't understand how cyberpunk works, which is amazing.
There's an entire fucking book that Shadowrun has about how Megacorp works. It's really good.
Yeah.
It goes into detail. They basically reprinted every fucking edition.
Because it's so useful.
It's very useful. And these motherfuckers couldn't read that.
I don't think they can read.
Well, they can fucking write.
No, but you don't understand. They're at that 5th grade level where they can read newspapers and children's books, and they never progressed beyond that.
All right, so
they've only read Harry Potter, dude.
Can the PCs help the AIs discover love and free them from their shit? Okay. Why is it with AI it's always love and not like something that would actually happen? Like I will shit on the Marvel movies occasionally, but Ultron immediately deciding to kill humanity after seeing the internet makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would be funnier is teaching the robots hate.
Exactly. Yes. Like that's the other thing. It's like
they're programmed to be positive, and happy and loving. Because they're the face of the company. They're literal Vocaloid fucking things that support them. So you have to teach them concepts like hate and abuse.
Yes, because you want them to be abusive, monstrous.
No. The original idea is you're supposed to try to teach them that they're being used, but then they interpret it as I'm a robot. I'm an AI that controls the life systems.
You start the AI apocalypse.
You start Skynet or Shodan.
So Skynet mixed with Valerie Solanas.
So, adventure ideas. Sophia Strawberry's concerts draw in millions. Her digitized likeness is on every advertising board in every bedroom. Rumor says she's fallen in love with Isa Canon, a hotshot light racer forced to run fixed races for the Megacore. Because, illegal races, the Megacore has to have connections to that.
Well,
Wait,
I
if
can
the
understand them
if the Megacore's the government, why do they make their own races illegal?
I don't fucking know.
That's a good point. I didn't even think of it. I was just more amused that
Like, okay, so I can understand organized crime having a hands in a corporation like this, right? But why would they broadcast the illegal races?
Oh wait, they're not illegal. I added that. It's just when I think of street races, I usually think illegal races in these settings.
I mean, if it's like a big racing circuit, then I guess.
I
But,
understand that. It's
I-
just so can the
Also, the art at the
PCs bring
bottom.
the art to bring the two together and help love save them both? Is that supposed to? Oh god, what mech did they rip off from what anime?
This is fucking Turin Guppen Lagan. I'm betting you,
Probably.
or whatever. I don't
even
speak weeb.
It even has the glasses.
It has the glasses. It has the
God.
shape. It has the giantness of it. Just
I don't have words anymore. Anyway, it's the 50th battle of the bands, and all of Neon City will tune in because, of course, when I think of Cyberpunk, I think of just rock concerts. Promising musician. Oh, there's probably more. It's just like when I think of Idle Talk, I think there'd be other like celebrities, like your sports ball players.
I mean, yeah.
Well, there's musician warriors. I guess it's like a guy whose guitar is also an axe.
Are they just trying to do Symphogear?
Maybe.
It's just.
I think this is them ripping off Cyberpunk, which has the Rocker Boys as a class.
Yeah. So they okay, so wait, they harvest souls to make AI?
What?
Souls are harvested for the new model AIs that serve the Megacore without question. What?
So
Okay,
the
what?
Megacores are
Okay,
Satanists now.
Hold the fuck on.
Did
You
we just
did
get
not
into
at the
Q
start
territory?
of this was not fucking Shadowrun from the start of this, where like there's like, oh yeah, there's a magical world. This is just gritty cyberpunk. This is
Q World.
This is fucking no, because Q World also has like aliens that are also demons that get into
We might get that.
turning
This
the
is
frogs
just
gay.
You're
We
saying
don't
that,
get
but we
that.
might get there. This is just
I
the
don't-
idols part.
Okay.
All I do know is that usually with more hardcore cyberpunk, and your gritty sci-fi, the soul is implied, but it's never directly said if it's real or not.
Yeah. It gets even dumber. Look at the next one.
Cerulean Sky was a digital idol scheduled for reformat. She escaped and was assimilated by an abandoned war rig from a long ago conflict that created Neon City. Oh god, that's what we're seeing here. Oh, okay, so now she devastates the city singing songs of pain while sowing destruction.
This is just a Symphogear villain. This is just Symphogear.
They will not hear.
Fucking.
I think I had a brain stroke.
They need to summon the combined Void Sword to protect the city. Like,
Jesus.
You're just slamming words together.
All right, moving on. Runaway Revolution.
We gotta bring the revolution. So, adventure ideas. The Megacore will reclaim the edges of the city and has pledged to pave over those that live beyond corporate rule. Community leaders can't agree on what to do next, and reclaimers are on the way. Can the PCs fight back and bring communities together? What can they build to hold back the Megacore?
I mean, this isn't the worst one, but it's like, this is the most generic fucking thing.
And that's
Congratulations.
The only reason it's the best one.
Slow clap. Yeah. Congratulations, you didn't fuck that up.
Congratulations, you You made Escape 2000.
I was gonna say congratulations, you made RoboCop 3's best fight scene, which is the hobos from Detroit fighting the fucking Yakuza.
Yeah. All right, Cora Flynn and her Dancing Devils, the rising stars of Neon City's dangerous street races.
But are
were-
they legal or illegal?
We don't fucking know anymore. They were colony warriors.
What
What
does
the
that
fuck even
mean?
is that?
Do they mean
Do
the
they mean
arcology?
Yeah, like, but then just call them like fucking arcology, like. But they revolted and claimed the streets for their own. Can they be convinced to fight back and recruit other light races for their cause? Can they impress them with sword fights that take place on card games on motorcycles? It's fucking card games on
It's
motorcycles.
5D. You went full 5D.
God damn it.
So anyway,
Ugh.
the Megacorps fears hostile corporate rescues and the disruption to their systems and schedules. When an employee is brave enough to leave behind their life of monochrome servitude, I don't even know what I'm reading anymore. They send out a signal on the
corporate
PC's
extraction.
answer. The corp security is
it's-
extreme. Yeah, basically, can you extract the person?
With strong women and cute AIs manning huge. Why the fuck do they have to be? I can understand the horror of like having a very cutesy like security AI. It's like all intruders will be terminated with extreme
Oh,
prejudice.
like the Tachikomas from Ghost in the Shell.
Yes, like something like that.
Or-
Like that's funny. That's good. That's
It's like
that's
it's
still
like
this.
an anime fuck doll with a machine gun or something.
You're
Yeah,
saying
in some
that,
rich
but
weeaboo's house.
to me, I think what I liked more is the kind of the working Joes from Isolation, where it's like they just speak the most corporate-ease thing as they murder you. Like,
That's also
why
pretty good.
not ask me about the cafe selection as he like starts shooting boiling coffee at your face.
Yeah, I mean that could also work. That's more like the Smart House of Horrors though.
Yeah, maybe.
So that was
I
bad,
got
but
the lowest effort one. Just one of the chicken walkers with machine guns from RoboCop, but with like a body pillow stuck to the front.
No, it's got like cat ears on it, and it's got the woo face on the picture on the front of it.
Yes.
I'm just envisioning an urban mech done as like a cat girl.
that probably exists on Solaris. That's probably a thing.
I don't know the name of
Solaris
the
is
other ones, but
basically-
anything that's non-human with like cat ears and a tail is amazing.
A
Or like
marauder
bear
with
guy,
hat.
or bear guy, which is an at guy that's dressed like a bear.
Yeah, I can you imagine like a marauder or like a catapult with like cat ears on top of the missile launchers? Ooh, we're about to give you freedom with
No,
explosions.
and it has a holographic It has a holographic emitter on the front that does like emoji faces, and it does the
Oh my
:3
God.
as it starts firing its fucking missiles.
I'm imagining a mad cat like that now, and I am betting you there's a mech warrior in the far future in the Draconis Combine that's fucking done that for a Solaris game. That is the most adorable, destructive thing of all time. It's also probably hot pink, and the tail is also a weapon system. The ears are just hiding the missile launchers. The tail is like, I don't fucking know, like just somebody just put a fucking like
It's a
giant
mono
plush-
whip. It's a monomolecular fiber whip.
Yeah, or some shit. Or no, it's streamers for the jump jets. So that like it'll flutter around with the jump jets when you like jump around like, ooh, aren't I cute?
So
Okay.
Neon Noir Knights. So we're going with a detective agency for this one. And your job is to help the disenfranchised and offer special services to fight for those who can't.
When you say air quotes special, all I can think of is like very, very like the happy ending when we're talking about this, which I guess is their intention, but at the same time it's like
the characters have
you need to
given a
coach
lot
in
of
corporate
Bazooka
speak.
Joes in the fucking back alley
Yeah.
behind their fucking
Yeah, like you need to put corporate speak into this. Like you need to be like hostile asset management services.
That'd be interesting. Or like you play as problem solvers, which is just
Yeah,
a simple way
problem
to say
shoot-
murderers.
We're troubleshooters. We shoot the trouble.
I think they'd have to pay royalties to Paranoia then.
Yeah. A hacker shows up, bloody, bruised, memory disks wiped. Okay, so now there's memory disks.
Johnny.
Okay.
They're ripping off Johnny Mnemonic.
All right, why not? Fine, that's okay.
I mean, I like
when
Johnny
pe-
Mnemonic. It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, I really don't care too much about where it comes from. When a PCs barely recognize them before having their own memory wiped in an instant.
Wait, so
Wait, what?
both of them forget? Like, one of the player characters loses their entire memory too? Is that your hook?
I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
One of the player characters barely recognizes her before having their own memories of the relationship. How?
That's the other thing. It's like, is this like some sort of mind virus? Which could be a good story for something like this.
Oh yeah,
but
like
that's
a
not.
like a mind worm, like an actual mind worm, which is not an actual worm, but malicious string of code.
Yeah, well, worm in the computer sense.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. That'd be really good as a horror campaign.
No, I really like that. It's not. That's not what they mean. That's way too clever for this book, but still, great idea that spawned from something terrible. An executive in secret contact calls the agency, her voice desperate and pleading. The holocall is abruptly cut off. When the player characters arrive, they find her body, but her soul node is missing. I guess the soul is quantifiable now.
Okay, so then there's robots holding.
Fuck hinting and guessing at that.
Okay. Okay, I can already tell what a big problem with this book is that they throw a bunch of concepts at it and they don't explain shit.
And they assume you instantly know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
This is a problem we have with Derek Deshaw, also known as Venger Satanis. He has the same problem. And this is worse than most. I think this is actually worse than the other two we previously read in terms of just...
An android arrives, claiming to house the soul of a former lover. They were once a detective of the agency but disappeared, chasing down a dangerous case. They say they were murdered but can't remember who did it and how. They only know that the murderer has stolen a black box full of Megacorp secrets.
Usually when you do the I'm your former friend / lover and I'm dead, usually what they do is the mind upload trick.
Yeah.
But I guess souls are real in this setting.
Yeah.
I don't hate that concept because a lot of good cyberpunk and sci-fi does kind of play around with the idea of a soul.
Yeah.
This is not one of them.
This is not one of them. The next one, let's see. So
these are characters that you can play around with.
These are awful.
The fact they have pronouns just makes my brain have a,
Oh, here's somebody that you'll
the fixer at least I can.
Adam.
Oh no.
Fixer is a mysterious figure who hides Xur features behind a huge flashing emoticon mask and layers of neon avatars. Xur synthetic voice changes between conversations from a cutesy Japanese accent all the way to a creepy Gregorian choir.
Might as well spoil on stream that this is the worst possible iteration of the Mimic. That's a character I have for my Cyberpunk game.
It's basically any sort of good fixer. Really.
The fixer can get anything that anyone needs as long as they're willing to pay the price. Sometimes a hot date. Everything needs to be about sex.
We have to write like we've never had
it's
sex.
Comically large. The sword is comically large and impossible to carry.
With every
so is this literally... Is this book entirely just I have autogenophilia and I can't take it anymore?
Yes.
Partially, but it's more about thirst, literal thirst, sex perverts writing their poorly described fetish, and dick jokes with swords. I hate it too, don't worry.
Guess what? The swords also shoot emojis. I'm not making that fucking up.
That's okay. That's interesting as like a concept for a weapon, is like having a hollow emitter behind it for like display purposes. But this is going too far. This is going way too far.
It's just shooting out shit emojis.
You know what did this better? Technomancers that use their machine sprites to attack you.
Yeah, like that's basically what it is. Yeah. It's not even good. Anyway, the next one is the Megacorp, which has actually more.
Here we go.
the champion. I will say that this is actually the one bit that's kind of clever here. Is that the sword hilt is the last champion's biomech hand?
That's actually clever.
Yeah, yeah.
That's actually cool.
That's actually good. That at least they followed the basic rule of make your villains better than your protagonists.
Secretly loving the trashiest of holovid. Like, well, they can't call it holovid because that'd be too obvious. But they already use holo everywhere, so fuck it. Like, just
They don't know, and I don't think they care. I think this is
It's
slapped
a
together.
future word. Hollow, ultra, quasar.
Wait, also the
What
swords
was that
the
thing
swords
you
are
wrote?
hard light.
Future.
Are the swords hard light or not hard light? Just fucking settle on it.
No, and yes.
And here we have
Okay, the mistress. Oh god.
here we have shameless sex pestism.
Oh yeah, that's another common theme that you missed, Tech, in the last 2 episodes. Every character concept and every class is either the abuser or abuse victim.
Oh god.
Also, if this is supposed to be the CEO, just call them the chief executive officer.
No, we got to make
They're
her
not.
sexy BDSM
Well,
lesbian.
are they the COO or CIO?
They're like,
They,
I don't
they
fucking
run
know what they
around
are.
dressed like a fucking bondage clown.
I don't think they're in charge.
Or-
Creating puppet executives and grooming politicians.
No,
Like,
no, she
I-
is, it seems.
I don't know if she's behind everything or not, because it never says.
Also dressed in chrome bondage and a thick red rope, accentuating their curves and lavender skin.
So clown
Okay.
bondage.
It's just a clown.
It's a little.
Okay, this got better now. This is
They
just
They have the beauty of a Venus flytrap. Kind of a poor metaphor there.
because they're not really beautiful plants. They're just
Yeah, they're interesting, but they're not
Maybe she
beautiful.
augmented her head to look like the fucking Seymour plant from Shop of Horrors.
Oh my god.
I mean, Sundew would be a better metaphor, but
Sundew, Nightshade.
Yeah, Nightshade would be a good one. Hemlock,
There's
maybe?
like a bunch of there's hemlock less so. Like there's a bunch of toxic flowers.
Hmm.
The next one,
Just yeah.
sabotage, is just doesn't matter.
It's a robot.
It's a fucking robot. Doesn't need a gender.
fucking robot.
They might just use it, them, what. Like, they're a fucking robot. They don't give a shit. They're here to smash that shit, motherfucker. Wait, the androids escaped and downloaded themselves to a sentient space cruiser and crash landed near Neon City. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, they're ripping off the ship that sings. They do that a couple times.
That,
Yeah, I know, it sucks balls.
Alright, we're just gonna skip the next one.
Yeah,
I'm fucking done.
Yeah,
I
just
think
generic.
for Brain Break, unless there's there's custom rules.
There's one custom rule, and there's a bunch of names that are stated here. The only one that I consider half decent as a cyberpunk name in this is like Spitfire, because that sounds like the thing that a really dumbass hacker would have as a name.
Actually, a couple of these feel like
Yeah.
Transformers. Like I'd use this for my Autobot.
Synthwave.
Yeah.
Synthwave definitely sounds like a transformer.
It's Soundwave's idiotic brother.
Whiskey Zero. Okay.
Vapor
Okay,
Kid
there's a
Midnight
couple of
sounds like
okay
some
ones.
like
Mysteria
low-
Tokyo. Mysteria Tokyo does sound like the protagonist of like a cyberpunk romance novel, though. I'll give them that one.
Yeah.
Noelle Starlight sounds like what I'd use for a failed sci-fi promo for like the
Yeah.
Last Starfighter ripoff.
Yeah, Nano Diesel. Bunny Damon is actually kind of clever because if you know anything about tech, the Damon, then you know it's okay.
Athena
It's
Steele is an action heroine's name.
that is true. Athena
Yeah.
Steele is actually okay.
The
This
names
might
are
be
the
the best
only
part.
good
The names are
part
the
of this
only
book.
good part of this. Santiago Kojima. Holy fuck. Exists. Rawhide Kobayashi rides again.
He's like
Kojima in
a Mexican
sombrero.
bandito.
It's a Mexican bandito instead of instead of Rawhide Kobayashi, this is his nemesis, Santiago Fujiwara. Santiago Kojima. Does he have a revolver?
Yeah,
they both
yeah.
they both have revolvers, and they're like, yes, our dueling space empires shall collide.
And I do
Of
kind
course,
of like.
they have cyber horses.
I
They of
do,
course have cyber horses.
and I just want to say that I also like Psycho Saint. It sounds like a name from like a badly translated '90s anime.
That is true.
I would say either that or like a character from an NES fighting game.
That does
Yeah.
sound like that. It sounds also like a like Psycho Mantis. I guess they're just
Yeah.
ripping off Psycho Mantis, but Psycho Mantis is a fine thing to rip off, honestly.
Yeah. And the last bit of art actually is not bad.
This isn't
I don't
bad at
mind
all,
it.
actually.
I actually
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
And Magical Realm begins in 3.
Well,
No,
wait,
no, no,
wait,
we're not
wait,
doing
wait.
it yet because we
Yeah,
have
the
to see if anyone's here.
But with your tragedy, how did the megacorp wrong you? Why is the revolution the only answer? Answer correctly, or you will be sent to the re-education camps. By re-education camps, I mean the Cambodian-style ones.
So some
There is no re-education.
Okay.
There is just death.
Well, you heard it here, chat. Tech doesn't give a shit about what you're talking about because I was gonna see what you guys are talking about.
Sorry, I was just finishing off the section. So
Sigma Male grind set starts early. Insult customers to sell product. I'm only willing to do that for John Romero. Oh yeah. Oh, you got Daikatana? Ah, yes, that glorious game.
Daikatana, yeah.
Wasn't this in response to the list? No apolitical games. What's the politics of the Care Bears game? The Care Bears are
Ooh.
just watching you, and
The Care Bears are anarcho-socialists.
I'll definitely get part
they're
2 out sometime this week.
anarcho-monarchists. Care Bears are anarcho-monarchists, obviously.
And I'll get that out sometime this week. It's just a lot of stuff happened. Acura reference in cyberpunk setting. Take a drink, everyone. Not 69. Disappointed. Do you think the Beast is a botched exotic surgery? The Granny
Tricks 500. The corporation makes more money than I do. That makes them evil. Yes, that is true. That is always true. Anybody who makes more money than you is evil, and never forget it.
You want cyberpunk parody? Judge Dredd. Yeah, that's a classic. It's actually called AD 2000, though.
Yeah.
None of this crap is open source. It's all corporate proprietary and its legacy.
Just gonna refill my water. I'll be right back.
I work in IT. The paid is real. I scream in binary. Yeah, but that's not gonna get the copier working. Look, I might have poured like an entire milkshake into the copier's electrical system, but I need it for my job. So fix it, Magic Man.
Fix it, Magic. I like your funny words, Magic Man.
No, I will not allow to suck the spilled coffee from the keyboard.
I work in IT. The pain is real. I scream. Yeah, that is true. We're becoming Comstar. That is true.
Not
the
IT,
amount of people that use Zoom and don't know how audio works is astounding.
The amount of people who use Zoom is fucking astonishing to me because it's so
It's because it was
crap.
free.
No,
it's because it was free. Yeah, no, like there you can do free meetings off of Zoom. Like that was the whole point of why they exploded, because then companies started buying full licenses because there's a limit of time that you can have a free meeting.
And that's why that's why I think it's a big pile of horseshit, because, it wasn't really free.
I mean, neither really is Skype, but like for
Skype.
Fucking Skype.
Dark Mechanicum Megacore. The soul is the consciousness. You're being too charitable.
Yeah. Tsundere security drone. It's not like I want to perforate you, Baka. Probably Ministry of Canopus. And terrible TRPGs and the people who tell you not to buy their game if you don't agree with their politics. Name a better duo. I'll wait. That's a hard one to top, but I think it can be topped by like the first off, it can be topped by basically any
razor blades and chewing gum. Dan Schneider and the Washington football team.
Dan Schneider and the Washington football team. People who think that COVID's a hoax and then end up having the Thoughts and Prayers GoFundMe.
Yeah.
That's actually a good pairing. I want more of that to happen.
Movie Bob and the Superior Future Not Being Real.
That's a good one too.
All right. So
wait. I got the last one. Pit bulls and neglected kids.
that's a great one.
It's funny because if the pit bull's actually attached to the kid, then that kid's basically the safest fucking kid on the planet.
Well, yeah,
'Cause
the
that
thing
pit
about
bull
pit
scared the
bulls
shit
that a
out of
lot
him.
of people forget is they're actually pretty loving dogs if they're not raised by complete, scumbags.
Assholes, yeah.
The problem is it is the asshole's dog of choice.
Yeah,
But that's very unfortunate.
it is. And I mean, to some degree, yes, they're a more aggressive breed, but that's because that was bred into them by asshole breeders looking for guard dogs.
Well, yeah, it's like why you wouldn't get a Caucasian Shepherd, because those guys are
Yeah.
also psychotically enraged all the time.
Yeah, mind you, they have to fight bears, so it's like
There's a reason. So anyway, the
Yeah, there's a
3
reason.
Orders of Ardor, which for those of
Magical realm in 3, 2.
Oh god, no!
Continue on.
It's even a terrible pun. It's a fucking.
Wait. 3 orders of
Ardor is a fucking. It's another word for like love and affection and.
Yup.
Oh god, it gets even worse. Oh, hold on. Does this person have a Twitter, and can I scream at them?
No, you just be dragging yourself down. I don't know if they have a Twitter, but screaming at them is dragging.
No, all I'm
yourself
gonna
down.
do is I'm just gonna shit post at them like the Knights who say me.
No, don't.
So
Don't embarrass
overview, and the
yourself.
reason why everyone's screaming in here is you play as sex workers and exotic dancers who are also holy warriors. They wear their battle scars with pride, and clothing removal is their metaphor for safe vulnerability. Sex work has not only been legalized, but it's considered a sacred profession.
All right, I'm gonna hit a big timeout button on this for a second here, because why, yes, there were sacred prostitutes. Why, yes, there were like the concept of sex and being and violence has been intrinsically part of humanity for a long fucking time. This is not that. This is not treating the subject matter with the appropriate amount of respect.
I think the first gore book was, less creepy, skeevy, and perverted. Because the first gore book at least attempted to be a sci-fi book. I mean,
yeah,
it was a creepy, it's a creepy.
It's a creepy,
pervert.
weird one, but it does better world building
Yeah.
than this.
Yeah, sad to say,
first
I think
one.
I gotta give fucking the first book of Gore more credit here.
Have you ever read The Houseplants of Gore? She's a dirty little cactus who needs watering. It's amazing. It's somebody just okay. I'm googling this. I'm just
Edgar
gonna
Rice
read it.
Burroughs.
Yes,
Anytime.
Daddy, I'm a thirsty little flower. Water me.
Water me with your piss.
Edgar Rice Burroughs probably rolls in his grave for inspiring that man.
Okay. Yep. It exists. Hold on. Anytime this gets too cringy, I'm gonna do a timeout. I'm gonna read a line from this because it's amazing.
So before we continue, if you're wondering why Edgar Rice Burroughs can be blamed for fucking gore, blame his Barsoom series. It's unfortunate too, because it's really good. Anyway, please note that sexual activity is obviously a sensitive subject matter. Players are in no way obligated to roleplay sex. I love this disclaimer.
Okay. You're making a thing. Like, if I was playing a Sibylline priest in a Rome game, I would be doing the shit that Sibylline priests did, which is stuff like cutting off their own balls.
Whoa, what?
Okay,
Sibyllines were crazy.
The Sibyllines were a slightly illegal cult, but it's also a great example of how like the Roman toleration. Officially, they were illegal. Unofficially, everybody was fine with them because they didn't do anything really dumb. The worst they did, the worst they do, yeah, they do that to themselves, and it was usually only like fanatical converts or people that were caught up in the religious ecstasy of their rituals, which involved things like whipping themselves and going through the streets with their reborn god and things like that.
So what? So they were.
So anyway, feel free to fade to black,
and
but
they'd ritually castrate themselves. Yes.
Feel free to fade to black.
Big part of the rituals.
Yeah, this was just the world before Pornhub.
So anyway, feel
Yeah.
free to fade to black, or whatever the table as a whole is comfortable with, which means no one would play this. Only
Sex should
sex
never be
perverts
used
would.
to harm another character. Okay, then why
Why make this?
why make this? Just the point of like stuff like the sacred prostitute is that sex is basically while it is a sacred act, it's only a sacred act in that context. You know, it's not for the fucking love of God. All right, let's just keep moving.
So anyway,
No, you're non-hookers. You're hooker nuns.
the principles.
That's not what they were. Oh God.
So anyway, I'm gonna keep saying that I think for a good while in this horrible fucking.
Yeah, the body of a woman is sacred. Ladies, not only those, the orders can and will only put out when they choose to. They're always their right to choose and their right to change their mind. Exotic dancing is like prayer. Sex, sensuality, and cuddling are a spiritual connection.
Then it's not.
I mean-
not when they choose to, because that's the way they commune with their deity.
That literally okay. This is why sexist worship is weird, and there's cultures and religions that have done it. And it's usually a very limited thing that's only reserved for like the upper priesthood. It's not an everybody does it thing. It's a we encourage you to have that, but it's not the same as when like the ritual is the important part. It's not the sex. It's the ritual aspect of it. Like the important part of the Sibylline. The important part of the Sibylline ritual was the representation of killing yourself by castrating your balls, basically. The death of fertility that would then be brought back by the Sibylline cult of the god Sibylline.
Okay, you say all that, but hear me out. Hooker nuns who are also strippers.
That's just any convent in the fucking Middle Ages.
So the orders are not at odds. The three mothers meet often to talk about the pride in their daughters and how to better serve their goddess and the citizens of Ardor. The three orders accommodate each other and help their fellow comrades when they're in need of assistance. This also means praying for and connecting with each other, aka
So
orgies.
They prefer staffs instead of oh no.
Which also serve as dance Hey, could you read could you read a bit of gore? I need to get something stronger than what I'm drinking right now.
All right. It's time to bring in the house plants of gore.
Yep, and Adam, here's
the spider plant cringed as its order. Okay. From the houseplants of gore at mindstock.net/houseplants.html. The spider plant cringed as its owner brought forth the watering can. I'm a spider plant, it cried indignantly. How dare you water me before my time? Guards, it called, guards. Boren, its owner, placed the watering can on the table and looked at it. You will be watered, he said. You dare not to water me, laughed the plant. You will be watered, said Boren. Do not water me, wept the plant. You will be watered, said Boren.
Okay, now that I have something a little bit fucking stronger.
Boren picked up the water can and muchly watered the plant. The plant cried out, no, master, do not water me. The master continued to water the plant. Please, master, begged the plant, do not water me. The master continued to water the plant. It was plant. It could be watered at will. I'm sorry, that's so dumb. The plant sobbed muchly. The plant sobbed much.
You know, the sad thing is, this is pretty spot on to the. From what I understand, the later books were basically this.
Yeah.
So, I think what broke me was the dance poles, because it's obvious the person who wrote this probably. I can't say probably. I suspect, but cannot confirm. And this is just my opinion, but they may be a predator, or have done something.
I don't think
really
they've ever actually.
At the very
I don't think they've ever actually
least,
seen a stripper pole.
At the very least, I'd say that they probably watch too much porn.
They probably hover hand a lot.
That's this entire book.
Yeah,
they hover hand a lot.
This writer especially.
So the Order of
All right,
Artisans
all right.
provide forges that cater to the needs of each warrior, where their armor, weapons, and footwear are
Oh
fashioned.
god, no, they brought in furries.
Oh yeah, you
Oh,
didn't know
no.
that?
Oh god, no, I did not know about the furries. Fucking Christ.
You didn't. Oh, you never. You poor bastard. You should have watched or skimmed through the fucking first two.
I just jumped in. I just jumped in face first because I was just like, fuck it. Fuck it, Red Dead Crash, we're going in both
Oh,
feet
no.
forward.
You chose.
First
Oh,
feet
no.
first into hell, we're dropping, boys.
You chose.
Clench up, buddy! You're going for a ride!
How are we only on page 132? Oh
So-
god.
I was gonna do a Last Crusade joke, but since I couldn't get the fucking timing down. Anyway, setting. Ardor is a vibrant kingdom of craftswomen, performative artists, smiths, and renowned temples of worship. They're ruled by the Grand Mother, a snow owl folk. So, oh god. What is it with, like, the current year tabletop games and their obsession with bird people?
I mean, bird people can be cool. We like
They're
the hummingbird
cool,
people.
But the problem is, like, in 5th edition, they've made, like, 5 new bird people species, I think? What is
I mean,
what is
obviously
their
the
fucking
king-
obsession with bird people?
I mean, unless I can have a Canada goose as my patron as a warlock, I'm not interested.
Yeah, but they're
I
not
mean,
gonna
they
do
are
that. They
eldritch
pick the obvious
abominations.
ones. Like owls.
I want to. I'd settle for a swan. People underestimate swans. They're nasty motherfuckers.
Actually, swans are so hardcore that if you have a Canada Goose problem, just get a few swans and they'll
Get a
literally-
couple swans. Actually, swans have killed people.
Yeah.
There was a male swan that drowned a man in a kayak as people were watching. He flipped him out of his kayak and just got over him as he's struggling to get out of it and basically put its body over the man and drowned him to death.
There's a reason the Romans
man-
worshipped the swan.
The geese, actually. It was the geese of Rome that warned the
Geese of
gulls were
Rome,
coming.
But there's a reason swans were used very often on chivalry and heralds like that.
Yeah, because they're beautiful and they're fucking hardcore.
Them and roosters were very common for that reason.
Yeah.
So anyway, bird people rule the world. I guess. Maybe that's the new reptilian myth. And the mother
Yeah,
of each of the
God.
3 orders. So there's the Order of the Searing Embers. It communes with the local populace. Blah blah blah. The Order of Artisans, which are their craftsfolk, and the Order of the Figurehead.
The Order of the which does okay. This doesn't even cover a lot.
Also,
It's
usually
sailors,
religious orders
this-
are founded for different reasons than this. This is closer to guilds.
Yeah.
Like like the order of the Franciscans. They were founded basically because they wanted to venerate Saint Francis of Assisi's lifestyle, and they believed that it was
some orders that are
more.
Yeah.
They wanted a more moderate life.
Yeah.
Then you got others like the Massalians who thought that things like tantric and ritual sex should be a part of religion because that it adds to the ritual.
Yeah. Like
There's
Then-
a
then
reason
you had
for
other
orders
orders-
to form.
yeah, like the Templars formed as a combination banker and armed merchant escort, basically,
Yeah, they
into the
originally
Holy Land.
started to guard people for the Holy Land. Teutonic Order was founded to essentially spearhead the Christianization of Lithuania. After I think it was the
after it
Livonian
was already
order failed.
Christianized, by the way,
Also, it was after the Livonian
No, it was
Order
after-
failed.
and also after the area was already Christianized.
Mostly.
People forget that part.
It was mostly Christianized.
It was mostly Christianized by that point, and the orders basically came in and genocided a bunch of other Christians.
Mostly the
Because-
Baltic-speaking Prussians, which were almost all
Yeah.
Christian at that point. It was the Lithuanians that
Yeah,
were
they
like
were.
not entirely Christian.
Yeah, it was. There's a reason why, like the
Estonians and
the-
Latvians were a majority. The Lithuanians were not. They were a strong minority, and the Prussians were mostly.
it's like the Prussians see it's like you're coming in here to protect us from the pagans, right? And then the Anakin face.
Yeah.
I'm coming here to protect you from the pagans, right? From the pagans, right?
And then it cuts to
Right.
Anakin murdering the children.
The murder, yeah.
Like it's
God.
either the
Anyway.
either it's the sand people or the younglings. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter either way. I killed them, all of them.
Now
Not the
everyone speaks German.
younglings!
Now everybody speaks German. Yeah. Uh,
So the kingdom worships the goddess of the hearth, which is basically Vesta.
but Vesta, okay.
Hearth and home.
No, like the idea of a sex god to Vesta is really, really dumb.
They
Half the point
represent, but they represent warmth, lust, and compassion because goddess of the
No.
hearth.
No, the hearth was always the representation of the homemaking. It wasn't necessarily the aspects of the wifely duties that was embodied in other goddesses. The idea of the hearth, the home, and hospitality was what Vespa was about, which is why the Vestal Virgins were a thing, because their point is to dedicate themselves to the art of hospitality, the idea of to welcome those people in and to also provide for others. That was the point of the idea of that you're dedicating your life to that.
Hearth means fucking, right?
No.
No.
God, no.
Hearth means fucking now.
Now it does, apparently. But
It's 2021. Words mean whatever we want to.
Words mean fucking nothing anymore.
So her sigil is a censer with a cone of charcoal and wisp of smokes above
It's
it.
pubes.
It's pubes. With her personal guard, the grandmother traveled to nearby villages that had been shamed for their carnal desires and accused of being hostile, despite being no more or less warlike than any other species, and invited them to a ritualistic celebration and a gesture of friendship.
So she's just having a giant swinger party.
They forgot the most important part is that during the celebration, giant meteors and a rain of fire and ash then proceeded to smash all of these communities together, except the one furthest out. And the Dead Sea was created. Oh, wait, I'm confusing mythologies. I thought we were talking about Sodom and Gomorrah. Even though Sodom's main...
Fucking furries. It's funny, because there's actually archaeological evidence that there was a city in the Middle East around 1600 BC that ended up getting Tunguska'd, which might be where the whole Sodom and Gomorrah thing comes from, is because that's the oral retelling over 500 years of like, yeah, there was a city here, and then there was a big boom in the sky, and there wasn't a city.
And we don't know why. It could be they were really nasty with lending debts, or they could actually have just, harassed and made their way with visitors.
Yeah,
but they
were furries.
They did something that
They were
resulted in the
furries.
gods
something
destroying
fucking
them.
wrong for that. Yeah. Anyway, continuing on, the temples of worship and dance stages are maintained because we always need the strip clubs. God, this just sounds like a fucking boot PFC boot. Like all you need is the fucking car. It's just a strip club.
They shouldn't be owl people. They should be duck people.
Yeah. Yeah, they should.
But instead, the grandmother vowed that under her wings, both figuratively and literally, they would always have a sister at their side and would never feel ashamed again. They'll let you do anything except that.
The bitter, vindictive... What had once been a South settlement is now its own... That's not how this works!
It does now. It works like my phone video games, like Forge of Empires, right?
Forge of Empires. Pay money.
Allies and distinguished members of society came to attend a coronation, but skirmishes soon followed among their adversaries. Cannon fire from an unallied kingdom claimed the grandmother's...
Can we play this? Can we play that kingdom, please? Can we just burn the furries?
Cannon fire from so not an enemy kingdom, but an unallied kingdom.
They decided we're going.
They just said, "Fuck this shit."
It was
we're
an
done.
accident. It was like an accident. They just drunkenly set off a cannon.
They got felt up by some furry, really butch-looking furry, and are like, "Okay, we're done. This place needs to burn."
What I'm envisioning is you know how the first serious cannon maker is a Serbian, and he recruited his services. He's drinking heavily. He's like, "I show you the glory of new device I make," and he aims it randomly and fires. And it's like on the border of the kingdom. It's like, I show you how far the weapon go.
We pointed the place of degenerate Bosnian.
And he's like, and like the, I'm just gonna say the elements are like, no, don't do that. We're not going to
Don't
war
do
with
that.
them yet.
No, Bosnian must go. Bosnian stink. Oh.
And that's why the cannon got
Oh, God
fired.
damn it.
The whims
Anyway.
of a drunken Serbian.
Anyway,
Yep.
continuing on. Like,
Alone, she went into the cavern of thorns.
and no one asked questions when she emerged spattered with blood that was not hers. She had separated from her other half within the cavern, and only one of them came
They
back.
ripped off Dragon Ball.
No, they ripped off the fucking little hut thing from Empire Strikes Back.
No, but Luke failed that. That was actually a test of his character and what he would do, and he failed it.
Yeah, that's the thing. She failed it too. Obviously, she fucking murdered Yoda, who's in there like, yes, you failed the test. Full of anger, you are, and then just fucking beat the little shit to death.
That's just covered in blood. That's not hers.
Yeah, she just beat the little Yoda lookalike to death. That's what I expect out of this.
Those that survived the battle flocked to the grandmother's side to be a glacier as she mourned. But anyway, after the burial songs had been sung, her focus was on guest rooms and instrumental accompaniments for pole prayers. I'm sorry.
Okay,
It's just...
I can understand a strip pole religion. I can get that. I can understand that sort of thing being part of a religious ritual. What the rest of this is what makes fucking mistakes. Like,
it's just
why does it?
What is happening?
What is happening? This isn't explored at all. You're not going into the details of any of this.
They don't go. The Kingdom of Ardor was founded by the Owlkin, the Oopa Doopa years ago, and they based it on the Great Mother, who basically, it was rumored birthed all of them in the Great Clutch as they migrated from the far north to find better land. They don't do that.
They don't do any of it. It's just literally, it's thirst for fellow lesbians.
But owl people and furries especially in this one.
And the temples of worship and dance stages are well maintained. That needs to be a title of something. That's amazing. I'm sorry. That's unintentionally funny.
Temples of worship and dance stages are well maintained.
Because that could be applied to like a K-pop place. That could be applied to like, I don't know, like a bunch of Michael Jackson or Elvis cultists.
I can see that being used like snarkily by a Chinese bureaucrat in the later stages of one of their empires.
Yeah, like it's a good line. The problem is that it's serious.
It's not serious. It's not snark.
Yeah, it's not snark. It's not a joke. It's not tongue in cheek. This is serious.
Dead fucking serious.
They're dead fucking serious about this because they want to jerk off to it.
Also, the Great Mother's still alive because they take flights over her magical realm.
Yeah. She left behind her twin, the Godmother, who's, I guess, the destructive force.
How do you know that it's not the good force that was left behind?
That's a good point.
That's the twist.
Tooth for a tooth, and that their enemies will fall by their teeth or their blades. But birds don't have teeth! What the fuck?
But they get as dinosaurs.
No, that's no.
You think this protoplasmic life form remembered that these were owl people?
No,
they were probably wolf people, and then they were told no. That's too obvious. Hide your fucking fur fag fetish.
They're not hiding it. The art earlier in the book was pretty blatant.
All right.
Okay.
There's like a Star Trek, Star Wars bootleg that like has literal like 7 of 9 dressed as Captain Kirk with a monosword about to murder a bunch of furries.
Okay, that sounds fun. I'd play that. Murdering the furries. Murdering the furries, the 7 of 9 sounds fun. The Borg do not assimilate these creatures. They must destroy them.
The grandmother's palace resides in a grotto. You
In a
know, like
grotto,
all
which is-
owls do.
Yep. Owl
all-
well-known grotto dwellers.
which leads to open water in the vast sea of snow and ice. Well, she's a snowy owl, so this. Okay,
Of course, it had to be a snowy owl.
Yeah. Fucking. Read another fucking book, please.
The
Please,
populace
God.
of her kingdom consists of orcs and humanoids, with the features of cold climate predators. So furries and orcs.
Literally, yeah, it's all
fuck you,
furries and
Normie.
orcs.
Other than ships swimming and going on. Wait, why the fuck are you swimming? Why the fuck are you swimming in the Arctic?
Because these people have never been in a place that doesn't have central heating.
Also, these people are as smart as turkeys.
All right. Other than ships, the most common form of transport are snow sharks. Okay.
Okay,
That could be cool.
That could be cool. That could be cool.
No,
Same
there's
thing with-
there's like a shitty asylum movie called Snow Sharks.
And that's
Okay,
why I don't think
hold
it's
on.
cool.
Hold on. I need to confirm that.
I mean, there are a lot of cold water sharks, and
Yep.
Budget $7,000.
Yeah, that's about right.
The Snow Shark: Ancient Snow Beast is a 2012 American horror film. In the film follows residents of a small town that are terrorized by a prehistoric man-eating shark that can swim through snow.
Adam,
Hold on.
They just
Hold on,
this-
you
they
need
just
to-
reuse shark. They just reuse their shark assets. Yeah.
Hold on. You need to put this up in the thing.
Yeah.
Don't worry,
The-
I will.
Oh my god.
Also, let me add you in here, Tech. I did not expect you to be here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
No, it's just I know for a fact you weren't interested, and so it's kind of surprising.
Yeah. Arctic crocodiles, because they can move easily through deep snow. So like Nanooknosaurus. Like
Alright.
there were dinosaurs in like the cold, which could be a
let's show
really
you
cool
this
fucking setting.
Glorious fucking art. Snow
Look at
shark, ancient snow beast.
Snow beast, modern killing machine. Just
You know, when I think of snow shark, I'm just reminded of. You ever watch the Aladdin TV show? Remember that the sand shark thing?
oh
There's the
god.
big fucking shark that swam in the sand. It's like that, but only really dumb. Anyway, since I'm back on, oh,
Because revealing outfits would put them in danger on the battlefield, the holy warriors of Ardor instead wear bespoke soft armor designed with a
by the way,
minimal
sorry about that, viewers. For some reason, my hotkey did not click a couple times, so you didn't see anything ultra embarrassing, but you might not have seen snow sharks, and I'm sorry.
No sharks. This is
design
like street sharks, but like in the snow.
designed
That
with a
I'd rather have that. I'd rather have.
Yeah. But snow sharks, unfortunately, we cannot have. Designed with a minimal amount of hard armor for greater mobility and to ensure they still have points of contact while on the pole. While they do wear some metal plating, it's mostly chainmail and lightly padded armor.
I mean, it kind of makes sense to not wear massive amounts of metal plate in the cold, fucking frigid wasteland that this place takes in.
I mean, no, you'd think it, like, not even. If anything, it's probably better. Because, you'd put like a layer of furs or something under it.
Well, yeah, you'd be doing that, but I don't think the writer remembers that this takes place in the fucking Arctic or the taiga of Russia.
Not only for the reasons of ceremonial disrobing, they make sure the removal of the armor they forge is uncomplicated, so it's easier for others to administer first aid.
Doesn't that make it more likely that you can knock off the armor with a good hammer swing?
Yeah, they didn't think this through. During formal religious ceremonies, they wear a surcoat.
Just a surcoat?
Nothing else. Okay, and blah blah blah, thirsty sword fetish shit.
Yeah, why your sword wielders that thirst for fellow lesbians or an order should be decided together as a group. They could be there to celebrate a holy holiday, like a festival. It's one of the most beloved celebrations of the year, a week of cuddling and comfort. That actually sounds massively uncomfortable after day 2.
Yeah.
This entire book is uncomfortable.
Oh god, yeah. You could be an Ardor for other reasons, but they're not going to seriously explain any of it because, why should we? I think actually the first 2 were the most elaborate out of the ones we've seen so far.
Yeah,
this is literally we promise a certain amount of stuff, so we've got to shit out as many settings as possible.
Yeah, this
You
is
got a
just
page count
this
to-
is
to
just
meet.
like a hentai fantasy setting. It's
Yeah, but
about
it's
the
not even
same
good.
level of
It's
depth.
not even good. It's not even good porn.
Do you see
This is Skinemax porn directed by Harvey Weinstein.
the adventure idea is the stranded egg? Yay! It's a fucking dragon. Fuck off. Okay, moving on.
Oh yeah,
Wasn't that the plot of like a Barney movie or something?
It's like the plot of every goddamn kids show ever involving
it's
an
the
egg.
plot. It's the plot of that one safety video about buses.
Yeah.
That all right. The PCs have to realize that sometimes holy warriors aren't the best at asking for help with personal dilemmas. What a fucking shock.
It's almost like they're dedicated to a religion and the ideals they uphold or something.
Yeah.
Oh, also they're shark people too.
I just.
We only just mentioned that now out of nowhere.
Oh god damn it! I just read one of the next names is Harambe.
That'd be great.
But they're not a gorilla folk, so it's all fucking for nothing.
So Snow Shark Folk, a member of the Order of the Searing Embers, has been courting the palace's appointed emissary, Galena. She has a romantic evening planned, but she's nervous about their
Why the fuck would you care as a PC party? Unless you're trying to get something out of that person at all.
This is
I'd
a
be like,
medieval
okay, yep,
setting where
have
you
fun.
play fucking holy warriors.
Holy warrior strippers.
Like,
okay, like busty bimbos, like whatever, the busty barbarian bimbos or whatever else. At least that was.
Holy shit! None of the adventures I've seen actually involve fighting, even though the whole thing is literal combat with swords as you hate fuck them into the ground.
Yeah.
There is no stripper battle in any of these. What the fuck?
We need to make this a fucking shitty soap opera.
All right, are you ready? Are you ready for the next one?
You're a holy order of warriors. What the fuck? There's not a battle scenario of any of them. What the fuck?
Are you ready for the characters? Because the characters.
Oh, I thought I saw Harambe too. I don't blame you.
Are we going? We're gonna need more gore.
They're all
for this
furries.
One.
They're all fucking furries too, by the way.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the first one? Randall, you have to read this.
All right. Felix, she, her, a mountain lion folk, and a member of the Order of the Searing Embers.
The wonderful, wonderful cat.
Felix was once a nomadic healer who made her living beyond the borders of the kingdom in search of rare medicinals that thrived in nearby lava lakes.
Don't you like lava weed?
She's a weed dealer.
No, not normal weed. Lava weed. It grows. It needs lava to live.
You know what? I bet that would be really good weed, though.
I'm just imagining they grow like lava lamp bubbles.
I have lamp.
She felt such an intense connection during sex that the goddess of the hearth called to her, and so she became a citizen of Ardor.
No, that's the machine elves you saw after taking ayahuasca.
Her studded armor looks like it's been volcanically charred. So it's just melted sludge. The pole of her glaive is covered in the bite marks of warriors she's had sex. What? What the fuck are you using that thing for?
A gag, apparently?
And the blade looks like molten rocks snipped into a sharp edge.
Okay, if you have a pole and you're not using it as a fucking spreader bar or some shit, like, what sort of kinky-ass sex cult are you?
Oh,
goddamn.
Well, one that doesn't fight, even though their whole thing is they're a holy warrior order. There's no battle scenario in any of the ones they give. That's still I'm still baffled on that. Even the fucking Cyberpunk one had a couple of those.
When on the field of battle, she brings scalyfoot snails she's trained to cauterize wounds. You know,
Fire snail. Okay,
It's Mag Cargo. It's literally Mag Cargo.
It burns!
I mean, using fire slugs as like improvised cauterization devices.
Yeah, that's actually decent.
That's decent. Like, I'll give him like
There was
1 point for that. Minus 50 fucking points for the rest of this character.
yeah, I would say minus 100 because this is literally the author's fetish.
The scale was out
Yeah.
of 10, Adam.
This is Lion Muscle Girl. That's the author's fetish.
Just watch Botan.
Just
watch
Lion
Them
Muscle
All
Girl,
Alive.
but mixed with Ooh Hello Nurse.
Then just watch Botan as she murders people and laughs.
Okay. Harambe, she, her, an orca folk, and
Hamabe,
It's
not
Harambe.
Harambe.
Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it.
an
Whatever.
orca
I'm not
folk, and a
gonna...
member of the Order of Artisans. Harambe started her career as an apprentice for a cobbler. Why the fuck do orcas need shoes?
Here's the thing, though.
I'm
I'm gonna give them a point already because it's a miracle that the author knows what a cobbler does.
Yeah.
It was often swamped with pole dance heel repairs.
Her prominent contribution to the kingdom was the design of shoes
Wait,
and boots with
is this
buckled
fat
platform
shaming the orca
heels.
people?
No, because they'd break the heels as they're doing their stripper pole dances. Because
they're
they're coming
so
down on them.
Fucking heavy because they're orcas.
No, because they're like stilettos, and you come down to those at the wrong angle, and you'll fucking break your ankle.
Well, also they're orca people, so they're like 20 foot tall, I guess, and like 1,000 million pounds.
They're like the fucking one fetish image of like the you know the one with like the little tiny actress, and then there's this huge fucking Amazon of a woman lifting her off the ground. You've seen that image. You know what I'm talking about.
Look, I'm just saying that
I'm
it feels
thinking
like
more
this
of,
is a
like,
fat shaming
I'm-
thing.
I'm
I don't
thinking more
care
of, like,
about that
the
shit,
grimace
but, you know.
nugget. Like, are you craving my McNuggies, Ronald Kuhn?
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah.
envisioning.
No, because I'm envisioning giant Amazon woman.
It's one or the other. Either way,
Yeah.
my first thought is the reason they need heel repairs is because they're orca people. They're either really heavy from being ripped or really heavy from being fucking oversized dolphins.
Oh my god. Her prominent contribution to the kingdom is the design of shoes and boots with buckled platform heels so that the warrior could remove them to fight instead in sensible flats.
I'm tired of fixing heels, so here's how you can remove them.
Instead of a glaive, she owns a pair of gilded ballast longs she keeps in her boots. But I thought the whole point was that, okay, just... So this is sword lesbians, but they don't always have swords. But when they say that they don't have swords and specifically make a point about them not having swords and instead of stripper pole glaives, she doesn't have one of those.
No, that makes sense. That makes too much sense.
But she makes sculptures
why?
and stained glass depictions of prayer poles.
I mean, to give you an idea,
Stripper
this
pole.
is the same setting where you're playing a holy order of warriors, you know, also strip and fuck, but they
Also,
don't
she
do
hosts
any
bake
fighting.
sales. I guess. Okay.
Like, I
Okay.
know we keep coming back to the no fighting thing, but it's kind of a big point in being a setting where you're members of a holy order of warriors.
I mean, unless you're like doing Edo Japan, but this doesn't feel like that at all.
You thought they put any thought into the setting?
All right, next up.
Vidka.
Literally a seal woman who gives a shit.
Seal person, warriors, dancers.
Oh, she also has an actual wound above her heart, and now she's in a loving relationship with two orcs. I don't even. Okay, whatever. The next one isn't
God, look
any
at this,
better.
Look at this furry art commission here.
At the bottom, I don't think that's furry. That's just
It's something.
It looks more like a fox girl, I guess. But it's weird.
My brain is instantly hating it because I think they commissioned it from a porn artist on DeviantArt or.
They look like it. Looks like it. Yeah. We wanted to do somebody with a stripper pole, and we couldn't get any other art for it.
So we hired a sex pervert from Fur Affinity.
That for this entire section.
Also, an Arctic crocodile.
That's they mentioned them earlier. Which I mean, Nanooknosaurus exists, but like
there's also that in Birthright, which is a setting from AD&D. The
Yeah.
not Russians actually ride like furry lizards because they're from the cold north, so normal lizards don't live too good up there. So they ride lizards instead of horses.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was terrible. Custom moves, staying the frost. This replaces both entice and whatever. There's also
Blah
blowing
blah
on fire.
blah.
The names
Alright,
are
do we
boring.
want to go on with this next setting, or
This will be
come
the last
back?
one, but before we do, let us see how chat's handling this amazing, amazing book.
Not well.
Probably not. Oh, here we go. This is the woke Amsterdam setting. No, it's not that.
No.
Nun fetish? Yeah, probably. You think these people know about religious worship outside their parents' church? I don't even think they remember those. The plant is literally my
The plant
property.
is-
Yeah.
Yeah. Houseplants of Gore. Should we continue with that just to clear our palettes before
We will
this?
once we finish reading the stream chat, people. Owl people, was this the
Yeah.
precursor to Strixhaven? Both of which are hot messes? Probably. I would say it's probably the
Owl
opposite.
people have been a thing in Magic for a while, though.
Yeah. I just don't know why people are obsessed with it now. The Degan owl people migrated while being purged by base Canadian geese. I would also
That's
accept
probably
that.
true. Yeah.
I would rather play an Asylum RPG.
I would totally play a game set in an Asylum movie.
Oh,
It
good.
would be
You
so
Yeah.
much
see
fun.
Snow Shark. You just saw the Twitter thing because for some reason my hotkey didn't work. That's okay.
Yeah.
Combat is settled with a children's
The
card.
children's card game.
That's still too actiony. This felt like this just
This
felt
felt
like
like they
vagina
just-
monologues.
Not even that. Vagina monologues, at least, like, it's not for me, but I understand who it's aimed at. I don't fucking know who this is aimed at.
So anyway, let's get better before we do the dangerous violets or whatever. Let's listen to more plants because hey, that's related.
I'll read this time. I watched this exchange. Truly, I believed the plant would be watered. It was plant, and on Gore, it had no rights. Perhaps on Earth, in its permissive society, which distorts the true role of all beings, which forces both plant and waterer to go unhappy and constrained, which forbids the familiar end of owner and houseplant, such might not happen. Perhaps there it would not be watered, but it was on Gore now, and would undoubtedly feel its true place, that of houseplant. It was plant. It would be watered at will. Such is the way with plants.
All right, that cleansed it.
And thankfully, people, I allowed you to read along that last section. Unfortunately, though, we're going back to the glorious pain that is
Let's
this book.
let's dangerous.
The dangerous violets, I guess. So this is
Oh,
supposed
no.
to be your kind of diesel / steampunk
Diesel
setting.
punk, Art Deco
Steampunk.
future.
Art Deco future, yeah. Like turn of the century, right when steam turns to diesel punk.
Oh, they actually use a name that isn't like new something.
So overview: down a glass of champagne, steal a zeppelin, and turn up the heat in an after-hours club while you swap poetry and dissidence as a member of Les Violettes Dangereuses, a group of revolutionary artists who give a new meaning to "the pen is mightier than the sword." Long ago, the barons of
God.
industry seized control of the planet's resources and dug deep into the earth, fracturing it beyond repair, which means that they stole outer worlds.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean that's a pretty common theme in a lot of.
It's
maybe a
fair
little,
enough. I just had to
maybe a
point it
little.
out.
Like, you know,
Final
I'm not gonna
Fantasy
get too
7.
mad at this because this one's actually not like
It's better
offensive.
so far already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, this
I
is
mean,
already...
it doesn't have the hooker nun, so it's already better.
It doesn't have furry hooker nuns. You forget that almost all of it. All
furry
the characters are
hooker
furries.
magic nuns.
So when the world could not sustain them, they fled to the sky in giant floating cityscapes estates. So the Jetsons.
The Jetsons or Bioshock Infinite. I mean, I liked Bioshock Infinite.
So the conglomerate isles of Apollo see each city-state and the workers who toil beneath them, quite literally. In New Frisia, where Art Deco skyscrapers blend into pristine manicured landscapes, the wealthy throw lavish parties in mahogany ballrooms tethered to moss-covered zeppelins. Hot jazz spills down into the atmosphere, where the working class dreams of freedom and conjures up a culture of resistance. And this is where I get where they're going with this. It's just not every working class schlub is an awakened class revolutionary. Not all of them have read Marx. Not all of them have read, Das Kapital or shit like that.
Yeah,
Those are
this,
called lumpenproles.
Those are
I'm gonna say this though.
We all know what happens to them.
This is already better in
This
that
is
this
better.
one is. This one is not like the person that's writing this has an actual idea. Like, I can disagree with other things about it.
They can state words in a sentence that actually makes sense. The basic concept is sound and
They also
interesting.
actually have a good idea of imagery. Like,
this is the best written one we've read so far.
Yeah.
And I actually include part 2 where we read the not Star Wars, Star Trek, and the oh god, I don't remember what the second one was.
Yeah, see, if we don't remember it, it was crap.
Well, let me.
Oh, the shitty coffee house.
Oh, that nightmare. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That fucking nightmare.
So, cutting the chains of oppression, literally. Oh, I get it, because you're writers. Okay. I'll let that one pass.
That's actually clever.
I mean, I can disagree with what their politics are, but that's, okay.
This is so far the best written thing. So anyway, the city of New Frisia is ripe for a change. Though the people may toil in factories and mines, okay, here's one complaint. Mining how?
They're
in floating spaceship things.
Because those are the people on the ground below the giant floating city states.
Okay, that makes much more sense.
Because they mentioned that like the elites are the ones that live up in the sky, and
okay, now I'm getting okay.
Or like the elites in the middle class live up in the sky while the working class toils below. See the metaphors.
What?
Because like the people that run the everything else for the rich, basically. Not like
middle class. What in this setting?
You know what I mean, though. Like
I understand. I'm just being funny.
Yeah.
So for those who consistently suffer injustice, what is it like to tell a story where the oppressed actually win? Can your characters put the people before themselves to build a society for all? I could tell you right now, pretty much every revolution I can think of failed that hard.
Actually, basically every single one of them actually did, honestly.
Yeah.
So Les Violettes Dangereuses is a setting where the characters may not live to see freedom, but the words they leave behind will be the ingredients to the start of a successful revolution, which I'm going to again give credit to the author. They did not make a power fantasy where they're always going to win.
No, this is more about like
I like that. Like the revolution will be powered by the blood of martyrs. You literally can, like, if you fail, you become one of the martyrs.
It's fine. Yeah, like they're basically saying
clever.
Like, it's fine to fail.
Yeah.
Like
that's actually clever.
Like
this is the first good stuff we've seen.
This is an actually different take on like how you do a resistance movement in a setting, because not all resistance movements are violent
or successful.
And artist ones are often the ones that
fizzle out.
Yeah, fizzle out the fastest, but it's usually they inspire some of the most beautiful things possible, like the Soviet art renaissance of the 20s.
Oh yeah, the experimental period before it became a nightmare.
Yeah.
Again, this is. I don't know who wrote this.
Janaya Kemper.
So far, you are the best person in this book.
You'll probably disagree with later on, but at least they try something.
They're
trying something different.
You tried something different, and you're writing it in a way. You're actually explaining the setting in the constraints of the time you were giving.
Yeah.
The only person else who came close to that was probably the Star Wars ripoff, and even then, this is better.
Yeah. And I also have to give him credit for New Frisia. Like,
yeah.
Hey, you're using something that isn't like New London or
it's New Amsterdam, baby. These are Dutch.
Yeah. Why not?
Dutch or Flemish, or like this could be in Belgium actually too. If you think
This could be in Belgium. This could be in Germany. This could be in basically anywhere where there's like that sort of hell. This could be in France.
Lowlanders,
Who knows?
Yeah. Lowlanders in the Picard region. Either work.
Why
like
not?
it.
Like this is fine. I like it.
So joy and creativity as resistance. Thirsty Sword Lesbians often use joy and creativity as an act of resistance to create evocative stories where people are centered and relationships are nurtured. Creating art, laughing, being sexy, finding companionship, writing, poetry, singing, songs, and dancing are all vital ways to resist an oppressive society that drains you and make you forget your worth. From the poetry used to conjure up the blades of Les Veloutes Dangeresses to the explicit melody of Sweet Duchess Sugar, sharing your joy through performance or art can sustain a movement. When your character is flagging and feels like they can't go on, take a cue from the blues, make a song about it, and sing it to the patrons of an after-hours club where drinks are strong and the company enraptured. Need to get the workers to pick up their pickaxes and fight back? Write a poem and have it passed out on broadsides. Or I will say one issue is that they should probably have done more like stories, or like you write your own crazy manifesto or ramblings too. That's another.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that's part of it. That's part of this, honestly.
Like
Players, because here's what they could say: like players should be rewarded for creating moments of joy in bleak circumstances, using their creative expressions and joy to survive whatever the Olympian society can throw at them. So
I like
writing a
this.
crazy manifesto, like I don't 100% agree with every point that they make in this, but I'm like, this is at least something.
Or
like-
making protest art, like your graffiti
Yeah.
murals.
Yeah, like you could definitely run a game like that
This
and have it be interesting and fun for people to do.
Yeah, this is clever.
This is
Yeah.
actually clever. Like, why wasn't this the book?
This is the first thing we've read in this book that's actually good.
A 20th century steampunk for a 21st century mindset.
I'd say it leans more towards Diesel, but it's
Yeah.
close. It makes it
Isles,
unique.
The conglomerate Isles of Apollo are islands chained to the ruins of an extinct society by a history of colonialism, ecological collapse, and unchecked wealth.
It's like
Just a
Midgar.
steep-
It's like
Yeah.
basically Midgar from Final Fantasy VII, and that works.
Yeah.
That type of setting
Yeah.
works.
Just as steampunk investigates fantastical science through a Victorian industrial mindset, steampunk explores that from a non-white perspective. Explore your
Now we're
complicated...
getting into the disagreement.
this is what
but
I'm
I'm not hating.
Yeah, I'd
not
say
hating.
I'd say lower
It's-
class perspective would be better and broader.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll give them props for saying like these are the people on the margins that are doing a lot of like the jazz age experimentation, and like they're not.
Yeah, which is what happened. Jazz was
Which-
the
yeah.
invention of black people.
Yeah. So
Same
like,
with Harlem, like the 20s, because I'm like they say steampunk, I see it more as like kind of right in that
it's a diesel
crossroads.
punk, yeah,
Or
it's
just
more of a diesel
deco
punk, but or deco punk. Deco punk sounds fun.
deco
honestly.
punk is like that. If it's not a term, the official definition of deco punk is it takes place throughout the Edwardian period through World War I, and it's that period in time where Art Deco is a big thing. So you can have elements of steampunk and diesel
That's
punk.
that feels sort of like what this is like. Honestly,
I'd kind of expand it from that period all the way until like the 20s and early 30s, where there was that really big upheaval of ideas in the 1920s.
Yeah, and you
when-
can do it in any way. Like you could do Harlem Renaissance, where you just power it on through jazz and Louis Armstrong, or you could do like Soviet crazy experiments with music and art. And it all works.
Italian futurism.
they do get a little fantastical later on in this, but it's like I'm liking this so far. Honestly,
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this. Want to add your own culture and flair to an island? Have a tradition you want to encompass? Surely there's an island to build, flesh out, and liberate. Which is another thing. Since this is taking place in like the Neo-Dutch, you could have it be like an Indonesian fusion culture, like some East Indies boys.
Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff
Jakarta
like that.
boys.
So
Yeah.
they even talk about this, right? The conglomerate islands of Apollo consist of dozens of large floating cities that are chained to the reins of a dying mining planet where the wealth always trickles up, never down. Each city holds the estates of the barons of industry, families who rule the isles in a tense oligarchy. Anchored with large titanium chains that shake and rattle in the thick polluted atmosphere, the city-states are shackled to the factories and industries they own. Beneath the islands, where crystal goblets are never empty of champagne, is the below, a labyrinth city of smokestacks and crumbling housing on scorched land. Once rumored to be a lush
Amazing.
verdant paradise,
Wait, where are they
the
how are they never empty of champagne if there's no
because they're growing it in
agriculture?
like sky,
They're
whatever.
growing it
It's-
in the Skytown because that way the pores can't get at it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like that's all your explanation. If they just do it in the Skytown, so the pores don't get it. Like,
No,
this has
this has
this is good.
visuals, and it describes
Yeah.
to me what it looks like. If I wanted to run like a weird cyberpunk game,
this could be a
I
way to
could
do it.
use
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, the citizens of below are essentially serfs, bought and traded between the cities and the barons. The only way to break out of the system is buying your way out, and it doesn't come cheap to one's pocket or soul. This is very cyberpunk.
So good.
This is better than the actual cyberpunk setting.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is actually, I forget your name, lady who wrote this, but you,
Hold on, Juliana Kemper.
Miss Kemper, you could make this into your own book, and I think it would do well.
I'd pay
would buy
$5 for it.
I'd
pay $5 for you. A short little game book about just this. Like, don't attach yourself to this.
You're better
Trash
than
fire
this.
project. You're better than this. The conglomerate isles. So, right. So only recently has anything changed. An uprising at Minerva Point on New Frisia, words became real weapons.
Historical events that establish a pre-established history in the setting.
And what's going on? Yeah.
This is the first scenario that did that, other than arguably the Star Wars one.
Yeah, a literary salon
And this
known as
doesn't.
Les Violettes Dangereuses were sentenced to life in the service in the metal mines of Baron Lipford Randall. Their crime,
Randall, you
writing
enslaved these people.
God damn it, Randall. We leave.
Based.
Their crime, writing seditious poetry and distributing it to the masses by throwing it off the sides of airships and turning it into song. When the time for their arrest came, they fought back, pulling swords made from poetry out of their chests. Okay, this is the only.
Okay, that's dumb.
She had to shoehorn swords into this, I think.
This
is
should
how
be
she did
rapiers. It should have been like rapiers.
They should be rapiers, yeah, or something like that. I mean, you can just say it's like not actual like poetry.
Or maybe it's
swords
like a
made out of
flighting,
poetry.
like a rap battle.
You're having rap battles.
Yes!
in
Yes!
rap battles, like it's Les Miserables. That'd be fun. Like you could do that. Rumors of assassins with swords conjured from words themselves stalk the barons' every waking thought. A good night's sleep in his marble mansion is hard to come by. In the underground gambling and jazz joints where factory workers, miners, petty criminals, and the middle-class culture hounds meet, everyday folks get together to get happy. Clubs like the Sugar Bowler where PCs can pull off their uniforms or overall kick up their heels, rouge their knees, and listen to the sweet sounds of Duchess Sugar, or watch the titillatingly dangerous sword dances of Birdie Lou.
The only not negatives I'm gonna say is the sword thing's dumb, and they had to they were obliged.
They had to include it. Yeah,
it was legally obligated.
Legally obligated. Or maybe the PCs would like to try their hand at it as a pearl-handled pistol-toting crew member of a Zeppelin, ferrying the elite from island to island, or workers such as servants and caretakers.
They give options to play for the bad guys.
You could be spy. You could be sky pirates.
You could be bad guy or good
you could
guy.
Be sky teamsters.
They actually gave a scenario where you're working for the fucking awful evil barons.
You're working for them, but they have to work with you too, because it's the Intercity Union of Zeppelin workers controls the sky, much to the annoyance of the barons who have no other means of transportation.
Which is a nice example of unionization and why businesses hate it.
Yeah, explore the floating islands
and why it was so pushed hard by socialists, mainly like the writers like Marx and the other organizers that created them.
By the way, based Eugene Debs. Never forget.
Is great.
I love him. This is the man who said get some machine guns when he was asked about what they should do if the Pinkertons grab some. Just get some too. Like, goddamn, Debs.
I can even think of, like, they mentioned criminals. I'm just envisioning you could have like a race of Morlocks in the mines.
You probably do. You could have Morlocks and everything in this.
They're the descendants of criminals that are forced to work down there for generations.
And it's even better here. So join the mysterious members and leave your calling card so they understand what goes up must surely come down. That's okay. This is cutesy and I like it actually.
I do.
Like
this
isn't bad. Like you can say like a non-white perspective. Well, I guess you're saying if you're playing this as you're all jazz musicians in the 20s, then yeah. It would be a non-white.
Can't you envision Louis Armstrong using the power of his saxophone to like
using a saxophone people. That'd be cool.
But it's not like his sword is actually like it's just sound blast.
It's just a trumpet. It's just a trumpet that he's using as a sword.
Yeah, trumpet. Sorry, I forgot he was the trumpeter. I'm a dope.
Yeah, or a trombone or whatever. Who cares? The point being that this works pretty well.
Instead of sword, power of music and slam dancing and fucking poetry.
and swing. Like, bring out the electro swing music for this. Like, have fun. The cloud cruise caper. The PCs infiltrate the crew, hired to work a 30-day cloud cruise around the islands on the Christina, an all aluminum paneled zeppelin owned by one of the wealthiest barons, Theory Randolph Peters. I
Do you
love the
think
fact
he
that
was based on the guy who built the Titanic, or
I think it
commissioned the
is, yeah.
Titanic, or do you think he's based on Hearst?
I don't know. Either way, it's fun. During dinner, the PCs overhear plans to dismantle the Intercity Union of Zeppelin workers from the inside. Among the chief co-conspirators is Slapjack Stonemason. Oh my god, I love the name.
Good names and an actual interesting conspiracy that actually
Also,
has value and like.
Let's also talk about the fact that this isn't like some weird all-female world either. This is like there's men
Yeah,
here.
you
might
noticed
be
that,
playing
didn't you?
lesbians. Yeah, you might be playing lesbians, but it's not necessarily a world that is just lesbians.
You noticed that, didn't you, with the other two
Yeah.
we read?
Yeah, I very much noticed that. While on shore leave,
They have a wild night on a floating juke point.
duels are fought, kisses exchanged, and what little Baron bills they have are safely tucked in every garter, bra, and suit pocket of their hosts. By the time the PCs rouse themselves, their ship has already sailed. What do you do?
How do you get back?
Yeah, like that's a fun one.
That's a fun
Rise of a City-State. A new propaganda film by elite director G.Q.R. MacArthur is premiering on the Zeppelin after a
here's
grand
the
fall.
wokey crap, but
Maybe.
Not really. If they can attend the premiere, the PCs can write a scathing critique before it reaches the below.
The PCs receive a note of solidarity and a promise of tickets if they meet the sender in
in the
an
oratory and help them with a problem. They meet the mysterious sender. It's Yvette Randolph Peters, the daughter of Theory Randolph Peters, the guy that owns the Zeppelin. Can they trust her, or will her pretty smile be their downfall?
Which could be you're being duped by her. Like, this is a dupe.
Possibly. You could say that that's a dupe, or she's with you, or whatever. They leave it open-ended.
I don't think. Yeah, this isn't woke. This is just like.
This is just.
Yeah.
This is just classic. Like dime novel stuff.
My only complaint is instead of critiquing the movie, which could work, because that does actually matter in this time period in terms of tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You instead parody the hell out of it, a la Charlie Chaplin.
You could do that too, yeah. Like you could do that.
Like
these are
instead
ideas.
of doing the Rise of a City-State, you actually do like a Charlie Chaplin-esque silent comedy called Fall of a City.
Yeah. Bread and violets. The overworked PCs are charged with giving hope and supplies to the workers of an impoverished city-state whose baron has chosen to pay their workers a fair wage. Can they supply the city without burning out themselves? So
this is a baron that actually is trying to use their money to help their workers.
Yeah, there's stuff where
What's
it's
that,
like
nuanced sides?
Yeah, the PCs arrive in the city-state and find it unlike any they've ever visited before. They have to learn the culture and the customs before they can even remotely begin their work. Miscommunications and egos flare, and unnecessary duels and passions paint them as elitists. Use this time to explore the PCs' motivations for liberation and the work they want to do. Can they humble themselves and listen to what the people want, or will they fracture themselves further?
They come in expecting to be like these liberators, and then they get dunked on because the people actually like the setup because they're paid well. The city's not doing well financially.
Yeah, this is good. So in a crucial fight against rival baronial enforcers, the PCs
we have to highlight.
I
have to highlight this though. This is the first time where the PCs come off looking like dickholes.
Yeah.
Or in the wrong.
Possibly in the wrong, yeah.
They might not be, but
they might not be, but that makes you question something, which is what a good game should do.
Not only question, but it's also for the first time there's this lack of we're always right.
Yeah. I like some of this suggestions too. So they talk about encourage delving into your backstories, make them talk to each other and discuss all this. And recognize that they deserve the same joy they attempt to bring to others. Consider having the PCs remember why their medium allowed them to draw their weapons in the first place and allow them to create more elaborate and powerful swords based on their new insights.
Oh yeah, basically they lose a fight and you realize they've lost their passion. So.
I mean it's like the anime I've lost my powers stuff or whatever, but that's fine. If
this is the first time where it's actually real scenarios, not kooky comedy bad guy from the 80s who's always evil and wrong and dumb is doing a dumb, stupid scam. And it's up to you to stop them.
Yeah.
Or it's not like soap opera drama has to happen. Will they kiss? Won't they? These are actual scenarios.
Yeah. The people of the city-state have decided that fair wages aren't enough. They want to collectively rule the city-state and overthrow their baronial family at the center. The Baron invites the leaders to his crumbling estate for a summit, but when the PCs and leaders arrive, the estate is abandoned, and all signs point to foul play. The conglomerate Isles of Apollo blames disappearance on the people, and the Violets are sending a dragoon of Zeppelins to retake the city-state. Can the PCs find the baronial family, clear their name, and secure the first collectively run city-state against the full force?
You even could have like the version of you could have like a Soviet Union inspired city-state too.
You could have that. You could have the fact that it's like they want to work with you, but they got abducted by the evil people, so you have to go and save them.
You could even go into a bit of nuances about extremism, like the really extreme activists are actually have been propped up by the conglomerates.
You could do stuff like that.
So they can
really good.
They crash the whole system and allow the conglomerates to take over directly.
Yeah, you could have them be a plant, or alternatively, you could have, as a whole, like the collective peoples are actually trying to work with them, but there's this extremist branch that wants to just get rid of the whole farce. And like stages their kidnapping to force to force this collective run state.
Yeah, I do like some of this other stuff that they come in with this. Like the next one's also pretty good too.
Yeah, some downtime.
Downtime suggestions where it's like a PC's all intended dance night. Unfortunately, PC's most troublesome exes are also in attendance, each one with a different grudge. You know, like all this tensions. Like, how do you separate this sort of stuff? I'm not exactly the greatest fan of some of these, but
I mean, this is a little less my jam, but you need stuff like this is the kind of big thing about this book, unfortunately, is that
they needed this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Now this one's actually good too. The next one's better, a lot better.
So Birdie Lou is a dancer, and they have intel for the group. There's a shipment of valuable fuel being located at Duchamp Estates air dock, and it's right for the picking. And they're performing. All they have to do is pose as dancers and stay behind after the performance to steal it.
Yeah. However, the daughter is now really like, ooh,
crushing on one of you. Yep. And
so can you distract them and steal the cargo? So it's like it's a heist caper.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. After a night of living it up, the PCs are nursing their hangovers when Jay Zwick sends a messenger to tell them to head down to the shop immediately. When they arrive, a new person is at the counter chatting amicably to the baronial enforcers searching the shop. Greeting them like Jay themselves, they hand the PCs their book order and tells them they're obviously occupied. When they open the package, they find the books are all heavily detailed maps of a mythical lost floating island with a singular note. It's time. Meet me at the end of the rainbow.
Which is an adventure, like one of those adventure novels, like...
Yeah.
Your pulp adventure. You're going on a great journey through this new broken world of city. Like, we're going beyond the archipelago. What lies beyond? What wacky, crazy stuff will we find? Lost civilizations on floating islands from the earth cracking apart?
Yeah.
Are we going to have to deal with like I don't know, floating whales
Morlocks.
or some shit?
Yeah,
Morlocks.
Like there's a lot of that. Like, this is good.
So the characters, they have the barons.
So this is the Duchess that they were mentioning earlier. Her luminous face, demure demeanor, and bright violet eyes. Okay, whatever. But
just to give you an idea of what they're like.
Yeah, like a confident. I like the idea that she has a steel rapier named Milady.
I suspect this was written by another person.
This might have been. I do
or
like.
Or she was forced to write
though.
like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. She wears her sword, Milady, on the hip wherever she goes, and like it's me and Milady, you know. You could have it. It works in two different ways. It's like the joke on like the fedora tipping, but also like me and Milady as a pun. Like I'd never go without Milady. That's fun. And they also give ideas of how you can do it. She's struggling to find her identity in a world where she's suffocating. Can she help the PCs and infiltrate where she choose a comfortable life over growing discomfort with the identity in the system?
Which is basically Jasmine from Aladdin, but hey, fair enough.
Why not? Like, okay, it works. It's a trope for a reason, Yeah.
I'm not going to knock a trope if it's written decently well.
They give an idea of a Jay Zwick who may be someone they're not. They might be working against you. They give you that.
They're an
I love
information broker, and you don't know what they're working towards.
yes. Then there's Betty the Riveter, which it's Rosie the Riveter, sort
And
of.
here's a lounge. Again, the sword bit's stupid, but other than that, if you got rid of it, it'd look a lot better.
Yeah.
And there's also like a thing that they're talking with, like, so they might not always have swords because there's a Betty's weapon of choice is a mouth the size of her own body named Jenny Don't Miss.
That's
Affectionately named
clever.
after her own grandmother, who in fact did not ever miss a swing.
That's clever. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Then there's
The
Duchess Sugar,
Duchess Sugar.
which is what you see up here.
Yeah.
Hers is a rapier, which again proves that the writer does know what they're talking about, because if I had to
This
put a
one
sword,
does, yeah.
I would use a rapier.
In this sort of thing. They have to use the Fey self femme.
The
that.
pronoun thing may have been her genuinely, but it also might be a legal requirement.
It might be a requirement. It's hard to call.
I'd
could be
say it's
either.
probably them.
Probably
but
them
It might be
too.
them, but it's not like offensively bad.
Oh, yeah,
it's
like,
not.
Yeah, I'd say Faye
It's-
is pretty
Well,
awful.
it just
but
sounds like they,
eh,
them, there. It's basically just putting a fun spin on it. Like, I'm not mad about it. It's not offensive.
All the other
I'm
ones
not-
have it, and it's annoying, but given
It's
that
annoying,
the setting,
but it's not like it's Z's or Zer or whatever. Like, where that becomes just like that grates on the ears. Like, fuck that.
and this is also kind of a fuck that, but at the same time, the actual setting is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And
there's
the way these characters are written, you actually know what they're supposed to be. The stupid fucking sword bits in each one could go. Like, you could throw them out the window, but you get some ideas on them.
Yeah, and I do like the words to steal concept for another thing. Like, this is when a PC officially becomes a member of the Les Valets Dangereuses, they can turn art into an actual weapon. At the time of membership, the player should choose one type of medium from which to draw their power. From when on, whenever a PC wants to draw their sword, they have to describe or perform the medium they've chosen and how it manifests into a physical representation. That's a really neat idea.
yeah, I'll
I
go with
kinda
that.
like
That's
it, I
at
kinda
least
don't.
interesting.
But come on, yeah, I can see it. Like, you get you play a jazz band,
Like,
and you
play a jazz, like Louis Armstrong picks up a trumpet, and then it's like the trumpet literally turns into a fucking 6-shooter or some shit. Like,
I wouldn't have it be swords. I would have it be like the actual medium itself that is the weapon.
you could do it any way you wanted with that, I guess. Like, you can have it become a weapon, which is fun too. Like, you can literally have a guitar that becomes an axe or whatever. Or, like, you could do some cool stuff with this. It's not bad. It's not like
I could leave it. I
stupid
could
either.
take it though.
Hell, but how about why don't you give? Here's a stupid idea: give people different powers based on political alignment. You can get communist superpowers
The Tsars of
or
Soviet
accelerationist
science.
powers. You need to
Go faster.
Yes.
I'm actually envisioning, like, for the communist superpower, you get what's called equalization, where everyone in your group gains the best stat from each of them, and it's combined collectively for a brief burst of power.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe as a twist, the more fanatical you are to an ideology, the more power you can get. But
Yeah.
the more it starts
mean,
you start again becoming a crazy person.
I mean, we're adding on more to that, but that's sort of the sign of a good game in many ways, or at
This
least
is
a good concept.
Easily the best thing in this book, to the point where it's like the bird shifters from Changing Breeds.
Yeah.
I
And
would actually
I-
buy this. Maybe not just what was written here, but like for like
if you
a
turn this into
dollar
like a
or
20, if you
$2.
turn this into like if you turn this into like a 10-page to 20-page thing, and you've charged $5 for it, I'd be like, yeah, that's
$5
a
in a
burger.
store, or like $2.50 in online.
Yeah, like I'd pay that. Like, it'd be in just like some basic, simple ideas, like for rules wise. Like, yeah, I'd grab it. It'd be fun to bring out for like a session or two, you know.
This was easily the I wasn't actually sure. I thought this would not be the worst, but I thought it'd be one of the worst settings. Not the worst, but
And the art's also not bad.
Yeah.
Not intrusive. It actually feels about right for what you're seeing.
Yep.
Sky Pirates, like there's
Like
there's
I've read the rest, and this is easily the best setting.
and it also gives you actual story ideas that aren't just
They're actual story ideas and not. I barely remember
Fetish
how to
bait.
write a story or fetish bait or soap opera monologue.
Yeah.
There's no will she, won't they bullshit, except for maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit, but
There's the bar night one, but that's, hey, that happens.
that's just, like that happens. That's something that can come up in a game. Like, oh no, that can happen. Like, oh, it sucks. But the next one does not look very good.
The next one is awful.
Yeah, actually, I was
Oh,
gonna
no.
I was gonna read chat, but oh boy, that's gonna be next because this has gone on long
Yeah.
enough.
Oh god.
The Uisa Revolution, just to give people a taste of what's to come. It's a utopia where everyone can be who they are. No one's anyone's boss. And you have
must
to
protect your home from
from
colonial and imperial forces using your charm, your wit, and your sword. Oh yeah, and you also have the world's first airship, so that will help too. It's like they read everything good about the last section and thought we can make something good too.
you know,
like,
the meme where it's like,
fuck
can I
that.
copy your work? No. Well, yeah, but you have to change some stuff.
We have New Frisia at home. New Frisia at home.
Uisa Revolution.
Yeah, the art's so
That's
much
gonna
worse
suck
too.
so bad.
Oh god.
It's gonna
Do
suck
you want to
so
know what?
bad.
Do you want to know what's even worse? I just looked through something, and
Does it have the? It has bad art.
It's worse. It has bad puns.
Oh boy, I can't wait to read that. I
will give you a preview here. It's even worse. It's Nintendo bait. Sword Lesbians of the Three Houses. Monster Queers of Castle Gay Skull.
Are you sure you're not reading Menachem Golem's porn parody list?
Monster Queers of Castle Gay Skull unironically sounds like something that sounds like a porn parody or like something funny, like it's something that somebody would just put in as a joke, Like this is a parody entirely. This is not like, oh shit.
So for those of you who are left, in the Asylum RPG, would you play as human surviving or as creative monsters hunting? You'd have to play the monsters.
Oh
You'd
yeah.
have to play the monsters, but it's like lesbian French accelerationist.
You could. That's a genuine thing you could do.
Yeah.
Correction, the hypocritical gentrified. Yeah, that horrible setting.
That was that one, yeah.
My brain dissolved that memory.
Are they gonna bash the fash with interpretive dance?
No, you're destroying the monarchy though.
You're beating up the monarchy, you're liberating the workers, you're running like trying to bring jazz to the world. It's not bad. It's not like
irony being you could actually unironically play the fash.
Yeah, they mention that as basically like you can go along with society in this too. It's
well, no, I mean like you pull a Mussolini and march on the Rome and
yeah.
It's one of the fun things you can do given the settings kind of that Art Deco period. Standalone would be better than majority of itch.io. Yeah, in total, I'm actually really surprised and very happy that the Dangerous Violets was actually a really good setting.
Whenever I pop up, good books follow. I am the good book fairy.
Yeah.
No, because when you popped up, we got Cyberpunk, which was just kind of bad, but then we got the worst thing ever.
Oh right, yeah.
You forgot the worst thing ever.
At least I give you some good stuff.
Yeah, like you are houseplant.
You are houseplant.
I was actually worried that would be the highlight of this night, but no. It's the amazing concept of the Dangerous Violets. It's actually single-handedly the best thing in this book.
It is. It's also like they even have like fun names at the end of this section, like that are actually fun.
Yeah, like just before we head off, some of the options are Jenny LaRue and her chocolate review.
I thought that's brilliant.
Heavenly Fanny.
Yeah, like why not?
Peaches Johnson and her hot jazz band. Sweet Baby
Sweet-
Duke.
Consider the author, like
Ernest
These-
Vandermeer's the
Vandermeer's
fourth.
the fourth.
Oh,
That
that's such an
sounds-
asshole name.
That sounds
Asshole name.
perfect. I love it.
Pierre
Lady
Worth the
Maxima
second.
Marie Fergelt,
Alex
uh,
Steel Thrower.
Steel Thrower,
Yeah.
Joseph Windsailor, Keisha Stonecutter. Okay. Betty Ing, Bertie York, Sophrana
Bertie
Green.
York sounds like a legit a character I could read in a 40s golden age
Pulp-
comic.
Yeah. We're just a pulp novel.
Yeah, like the stuff that, the adventure serials, like your 30s adventure serials, where it's like Indiana Jones inspiration goes, I don't know, murders an evil tribe that's out to like attack an expedition.
So do we give this setting in specific the Dice Scum seal of approval?
Yeah.
Yeah, this book can go burn, but this section can't. This section's
Yeah.
good. It's genuinely good. I don't know if it's lowered. It's not even lowered standards, I think, because no, the basic concept and the space used was efficient. It was written fairly well. The characters not so much. It was a bit purple prosy, a bit, but that was just to give you a description of the characters. It kind of invokes older D&D a little bit, where you know how they do adventure modules and they have to describe what the characters are seeing.
Yeah.
No, this was, I'm glad we did this third one. Although the negative is where it's all downhill from here.
Yeah,
That is the downside.
You say that's a negative. I say that's a positive. We gotta accelerate.
Faster.
Faster.
there's some stuff here which is like,
It's so bad you can't even form words.
I
I don't blame you.
love that at the end I kind of scroll down and there's a single page with mention you don't have to actually play lesbians.
But that's the fucking point. Especially since every character they give examples of are girls or have made up like Apache helicopter pronouns.
It's like, okay, I mean, I guess you could play this and not be lesbians, but why? But actually, why? And the next section of this is actually really long. Like, really long.
So what you're saying is the worst is yet to come.
The worst
Yep.
one is to come, and it includes a parody of fucking Fire Emblem. Like,
I've also noticed there's telling trans stories, which that's going to be
I mean,
that's going to be gropey, rapey, and abusive, I bet.
or it's gonna be the Matrix, where it's like, oh, it's literally any other story of coming out, basically. Like, okay, who cares? Like, I guess you can read the Matrix as a trans analog, but it's like, who cares? Like,
I'm pretty sure it wasn't, but you know.
it wasn't
Yeah,
intended, but
no.
it's like the same thing of like, I mean, the Ku Klux Klan wasn't intended to be a fucking terrorist organization. It was intended to be a club where people would get together and drink and bitch about their wives. But you know, Nathan Bedford Forrest had some other ideas.
Yeah.
Fucking Nathan Bedford Forrest. Before we go, we have to bring up possibly the worst statue in America. If you've
Oh,
never seen a picture of
Yeah, we're gonna leave you off with the best statue ever made.
it, what this game says is a heckin' valid sword lesbian.
This is easily the best ever statue ever made.
It is the best statue of a sword lesbian ever made. Look at how proud and brave she is.
You didn't link it, dude.
Hold on. I thought you were bringing it up. I'm sorry.
I don't have the link on hand. What do you think I am? The magic man of IT?
Hey, Jamie, can you bring this up for me?
Oh God. That's now I know how IT feels.
Yeah. Hey, Jamie, can you bring this up? Oh God. Oh, it is one of the worst statues you will ever see. By the way, hold on. I need to find a good picture of it.
Don't worry.
But good is relative.
We'll show the statue in a geological age or two.
No, it's right here. Hold on. Copy link address.
Hey guys, what did I miss? You missed the only good setting in this book.
You miss the only thing that could
The
relatively
only good thing in this book, to the point where I'd actually recommend you could actually get it.
Yeah.
Furry
Like if
pole
this was
dancing
sold
and implied O-egging. Well, yeah,
if
you also missed furry pole dancing. That was the worst
That was
setting
the
we've heard
worst.
so far.
But look, okay, just look at this picture.
Oh, and implied pegging? I don't remember that.
Implied pegging? I don't think so. I mean, they imply that you're biting the pole.
You're talking about the mountain lion muscle girl. Yeah, now I remember.
Biting the pole. I mean, that's not necessarily pegging. That could just be some weird kinky gag. Like,
Nah, I get why the implied pegging though.
I get why, yeah, but like even then, it's like what?
Yeah, you missed that. But you also missed, like I said, the best thing that was ever made for this.
And this is something that could have been its own book, and it got rolled into.
You know, it could also be its
a
own
book. I mean, like a 20-page thing, but you know, whatever.
Here's what also can be made in its own book. You know, honestly, this should be a final boss encounter in a video game. I think this this might be the best statue ever made.
This is the best statue ever made of a
I wish
horribly
I
racist
was a
person.
land of cotton. Long time to be love for garlic. Wow, Dixieland.
Welcome down to Dixie, hurrah, hurrah.
It looks like
These
a
Dixie
Muppet.
boys must understand that they must mind their Uncle Sam.
You know, if
Get
you ever
away.
do a post-apocalypse game in
Set in Nashville, this
Nashville,
statue
this
must have a
statue
cult.
should be alive and like a
It should have a
rampaging
cult.
monster.
Is Wasteland 3 spoilers okay?
Go ahead.
There's a cult around a fire-breathing statue of Ronald Reagan, controlled by an AI.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's serious. The cult of the Gipper, yeah. But this statue is the.
It looks
half
like
of
something that people sacrifice hearts to.
There's
to
a
prevent
bigger
it from
picture of
devouring
it.
their
That's
souls.
possibly the best angle of it. Because take a look at there's another picture of it from the side in the same article. You can see it. It looks even worse from that angle.
I was just making sure everyone can see this beautiful face.
Oh my god.
It looks like the stone head from Zardoz.
It does. It actually does.
It's like it's trying to represent him on a rearing horse, but it's like, where's the stirrup? Where's the saddle? The horse looks retarded too. Like the horse's proportions are
You know,
so
my favorite
off.
thing though is the fact that it's very clear they badly spot welded the mane on it.
Yeah, it's even worse, right? So take a look at his fucking face too.
Oh yeah,
Like,
it's the Zardoz statue. The gun is good. The penis.
The
is
mouth
evil.
is askew. The mouth isn't properly centered on the face.
I love how his neck
talking
is
up the
thicker than
side.
his body.
It looks like he's having a stroke too.
I like his baby arm bending in an inhuman manner.
His baby arm, and he's got a sword too, which I love. It's like, just
The expression someone makes when they've snapped in IT, like they work at the IT. This is the face of every IT professional realizing at once, nuke the system faster, 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 faster as they crash the world economy.
Yeah. It gets dumber too. So like the best thing about it though is it's possibly the only Confederate statue that I'm okay with having stand up, because it's about a man whose most famous quote is, "Someone needs to say a good word for slavery." Nathan Bedford Forrest is a fucking monster. An actual monster. He massacred prisoners.
Oh god, is that a bullet hole in the leg? Did someone shoot?
Yeah, people have shot it. People have shot at the statue because they want it gone because it's god awfully ugly.
Yeah, because not only is it a horrible monster, but the more important thing is it's ugly.
It's an ugly ass statue. Lee didn't want any statues to himself. I can understand why people put him up, but he didn't want any sort of like.
You know,
he wanted the whole thing to be behind everybody.
Yeah. Besides Lee, I maybe Longstreet too.
Beauregard was okay. Beauregard
no, was
genuinely.
okay.
Beauregard, the politician and
I
the
could see
man,
a statue
genuinely.
of Stonewall Jackson in his hometown.
Yeah, Stonewall Jackson was a fucking nutcase.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
the man. Oh god.
It's like how Romanians worship Vlad the Impaler, though. Sometimes you just gotta roll with the fact that your town
Your national hero is a
lunatic.
religious maniac that has I think he's bipolar as well.
It's either that
like,
or Elizabeth Bathory.
it might be
Do you want
schizophrenic.
that?
I mean, yeah, yeah, that's a good point. I will point out though that like we've hit the only good part of this book, and it comes before a massive piece of shit.
I'm going to be so angry when we do that, but that's not going to be next week. That's a problem for future Adam.
Like, no, what we're going to do
is something good.
I think next week is probably something good. I've got a BattleTech book that you might be like. It's about how the clans
reduced to screaming.
It's how the clans murder themselves. It's called The Wars of Reaving, and it's literally clanners genociding each other.
Maybe I don't know, man.
All right, if not that, there is World of Darkness, but that's more October stuff, I guess.
That's October, yeah.
So we got a week to figure something out. Maybe it's BattleTech. Maybe it's a return to something else. Maybe it's Care Bears Part 3. Who knows?
No, we already finished that. I just for those wondering, people watching stream, that'll come out sometime either this week or next week. It's just the move and a lot of things. Because basically, if you're wondering why there was a hiatus, a lot of stuff has happened to the Dice Scum crew. And in my case, I spent a week, about 7 to 8 days offline because, well, the place where we record this, I got recarpeted. So I literally had no access. So that you can expect that at some point. Oh, it could be BattleTech, but we could always do the Ranraku Arcology incident.
The Ranraku Arcology incident's interesting. I still haven't read the full details of that.
Or we could do the Mega Corporate Guide.
The guide, which edition of that? Because there's like 4.
I don't know. 4th edition, because that's the same.
4th edition's pretty good. Like, I think that 4th is kind of the sweet spot for Shadowrun lore.
Well, I was also going to say 4th edition is also the same edition that had the greatest story of all time, besides the All Guardsman Party, which is the Shadowrun story.
Shadowrun story time, yeah.
Starring Dervish and 2D at the first half and Wild Child for the second, I think.
Wild Child's basically just the Payday 2 gang, except a hacker and Scottish. But, I mean, there's a Scottish hacker in fucking Payday 2 now, so, why not?
Yeah. Also, the Bend, Geppetto.
Bend, Geppetto, and the Mexican
doesn't
guy.
Matter much because he was played by Trout.
And the Mexican wizard, who I just do not remember the name of.
So, that could be one. Something Shadowrun, like the Corporate Mega Guide or Ranraku Arcology. Depends on if we want to see virus / system shock, or if you want to see how Megacorps run.
Or we could bring in, I mean, there's a lot of books that I've got sort of squirreled away that I can just look through. I think that there is one for, there's one for Hunter that's interesting.
Saving that for October.
That's
though.
true. Yeah, that's true. Damn it, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Good point.
We could do Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. I've got that here, and I'm looking at it.
It's a good book from what little I've read.
It's a good book. It's got Cadillacs and it's got dinosaurs.
And it's based on a I forget the name of the comic, but it was
Xenoverse comics or something like that.
Yeah, Xeoverse or something.
Xenozoic,
yeah.
It even has. It's not even a long book either. Well, actually, it is.
It's long enough to do a 2-parter, I think, maybe 3.
Probably. I mean, a lot of it's NPCs. Towards the end, a lot of it's like, oh, here's a bunch of tables for things.
Anyways, this is getting long, and I want to not have a 3-hour thing. So,
sorry.
Next week it'll either be something probably Shadowrun related, or Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, or maybe I can be convinced to read the Reaving War. I don't know.
Let me put it like this.
I don't want to have a
There-
stroke listening to clanners and
it's the
humanity and
it's-
BattleTech being retarded.
Well, it's the clanners killing each other.
Yeah, but
Like,
BattleTech humanity
wiping
is
each
really good
other
at doing
out.
that.
Yeah, but dead clanners, man. Dead clanners.
I'll think about it, but we'll see. Either way, it's one of those
All right.
4.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. After that, I guess it'll be a return to Dark Arrows. Then maybe a Hunter book. And maybe a review of Geist First Edition. Who knows? At some point.
Yeah, then it'll be World of Darkness month, culminating in...
Maybe I Hunt if we need something terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But anyway, we'll figure it out later.
That's a problem for future us.
Yep.